is Johnny Wrestling, or Johnny Takeover, as my shirt says. And listen, I want you to listen. Like, we're in a ball right now. It's crazy. It's loud. It's hectic. We're in New York City. But I want you to listen to the No Holds Barred Network.
Hey guys, welcome back to the No Holds Barred Network with another episode of Indy Talks. I'm your host as always, the EVP of Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the Queen of the Indies, Tiffany, and I'm always joined by the Sparkle Vampire, the Law.
Is that gonna be my name now, just because of all the lights?
Yes. Yes.
This is what I get. I tried to make sure I looked better on the podcast now. Now I'm the Sparkle Vamp. What's up, everyone? This is the Law Raymundo. We are back with another edition of Wait, nope, that's not it.
Nope.
We're back with another edition of... Wait, no, that's not it either. Okay, we're back with Indy Talks. It's weird. Like, I'm usually used to, like, either we're doing one podcast or doing the other podcast. Now we're doing double duty with Indy Talks, back-to-back days. And today's going to be special, though.
It is.
Today's just me and Tiff, and I'm ready for this conversation. Are you, Tiff?
I am. I feel like this has been, it's been a while since we've done an Indy Talks, just you and me, and that we just shot the shit, shit the shot.
Shit the shot. That's what we're doing. We're shitting the shot, guys. And yo, what's up, Brad? How's it going? April, how's it going? Chris, what's up, guys?
Hey, guys.
Everyone's joining little by little.
That's fine.
They came to see us shot the shit, I think. That's what we're doing.
Shit. That's what we're calling it now. That should be the newer name of the episode. Shot the shit. Not the good, the bad, and the indie. It's shot the shit.
Shot the shit.
That's
it. Jesus.
This year has just been a menace. So, guys, please share the stream. Join in our chat, because this isn't really like one of our like normal episodes where it's planned or we're talking anything related to one promotion. This is everything. So this is something that me and Ray have been really excited to do, and we're excited to talk with you guys. We want to hear from the fans, even wrestlers, because I'm sure they'll come in here as well. Like, so we're live also. Like, if you find it better and easier for you guys, we're on Twitch, we're on Facebook, we're on Periscope, wherever it is. And if you're listening to this later, thank you guys so much on our audio listeners as well. We really do appreciate you. So, and you could always shoot us a message as well. Your thoughts, or tweet us and all that good stuff, right?
Definitely. Like, again, guys, we want to hear your thoughts on these topics as well, because we know everyone is going to be very opinionated on today's subject. Because again, it's crazy to just wrap it all up into one. So we had to do this episode. This is going to be a little bit of a longer, I feel like, episode of Indy Talks, because there's a lot to put into this. Because it's basically our wrap-up show without calling it a wrap-up show.
Yeah.
That's why we wanted to title it The Good, the Bad, and the Indie. Because it's a little bit of everything from this year. We're going to talk about what we enjoyed from the year, what we thought could have been better. And also we're going to talk about like stuff that we might be looking forward to next year. Because again, there's a lot to cover. Like indie wrestling, I feel like even with everything going on this year with the pandemic, there was still a boom, oddly enough. Like this year was definitely a boom in indie wrestling. So we have to talk about it. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be one of those episodes that it's just gonna be all over the place, I feel like, because me and Ray, we're not doing something normal. Like, we didn't really sit here and like, oh, okay, best match, best pay-per-view, best wrestler. Like, yes, we put that tweet out, we got a lot of responses, so we are gonna pick through it, but it's just gonna be a random episode, because I feel like when me and Ray randomly like talk about 2020, there's a lot that's happened in 2020. A lot. Retirements, moments, even before the pandemic was a thing, like we were going to shows weekly, and again, all over the place. Like, feel like it's just going to be a scattered brain conversation. So
it's going to be a real conversation. That's the thing too. It's like, we didn't plan this out. We don't have, like, if you're wondering where I'm looking at the chat. We didn't write notes for this one.
No,
like, it's just feeling it out, because again, I feel like if you asked us yesterday what our answers for some of these would be, they'll probably be different than today.
Yeah.
And tomorrow they're going to be probably something different. And that's the great thing about it, because we're just going to, again, shoot the shit.
Right.
It's just going to be whatever comes out today. And hey, this is what we think today. And again, we want to know what you guys are thinking as well.
So,
because who knows, after this weekend, probably there's more shows that could be even changed our answers. So we have to we're just going to go into it, guys. We're going to go into it.
Yeah, so it was funny because I was trying to think, like, Ray came up with the title name of the episode, The Good, the Bad, and the Indie. And of course, like, we've all gone through a bad year with the pandemic, but at least, like, we look at it that a lot of promotions try to still give us wrestling. Even like when we were all like quarantined and like we really couldn't go anywhere, that, a lot of promotions were doing no fans shows, or they were taking clips from old episodes and putting like best of matches and putting them up on shows as well. So, like a lot of places try to do the best that they can for us, and they kept our sanity, I want to say.
No, definitely. And I feel like the reason, like, a lot of people compliment on that title, I thank you guys. The reason I wanted to call it that was because I feel like you have to look at everything like that, because there's always some good. Yes, there's going to be some bad. And especially what we're talking about is indie wrestling. So it's a whole picture there. So we can't just look at the negatives. Yes, this year has been very downing and very negative in a lot of ways, but there's still some good. So that's what we want to touch on today. We want to keep the positivity alive, especially with this holiday season still here. We gotta keep trying to brighten up those days, right?
Well, Colin's in the chat and he says, "Go in, Ray. You go in." Do it, Ray.
Love you, Colin.
Do it, Ray. Do it.
We'll see you Saturday. But let's kick it off. Let's kick it off. I'm gonna just pick a topic and we're gonna talk about a little bit. Let's talk about our favorite tag teams from this year. How about that, Tiff? Let's talk about those tag teams, because tag team wrestling, I feel like because of a certain elite company, that tag team wrestling has been reborn in a sense. And I feel like indie wrestling wasn't far behind with it.
Right.
Like, we're starting to see a lot of tag teams even form or even start to get looks again. Like, not to be biased, but my boys over at Hog, the Main Event, they boomed this year.
They did.
They're doing things now with Camp Leapfrog, and I love what I've been seeing with them.
I love those boys. Like, they are absolutely amazing, and I've seen them last year so much as well, like House of Glory, and then I've seen them at Violence and Suffering, and even like you said, like, I've been so excited. A lot of our friends have been going over to Leapfrog, which has been really amazing, and to sit like on people's discords or chatting on Twitter with hashtags, and to watch what people say, and to watch a lot of newcomers, fan base wise, get excited. Like, our friend Dennis, shout out to you. I was on his Twitch stream the other day and we decided to watch Leapfrog, and I was like, all right, I'm ready to mark out for Big Game Leroy and Main Event and, Bones. And I'm like so excited. And like, Dennis is like, this is going to be Tiffany screaming the entire episode.
No, and it's definitely interesting. Like, I'll give it that. Like, Camp Leapfrog, I feel like I said from the get-go, it's something you have to go in with your eyes open. Like, keep it like with an open mind as well. And it's been great. Again, Main Event's been able to kill it over there with my other friends as well, with Leroy, with Bones. Even Deshaun Pratt made an appearance, so that was cool to get to see that as well. And I feel like they're going to be killing it over there, and hopefully it continues. I'm hoping to get an invite to camp soon. Like, I never thought I would say that. I want to go to camp.
Can I cut you off for a second?
Yeah,
Can I cut you off? Because I'm looking at our chat right now.
Okay.
And Charles Mason just said, "You both look like you smell like rotten mayonnaise." Can I chop him? Can we like forget the chop Ray movement? Can I chop Charles?
See, I can't say anything because I was giving an envelope by a certain butler that I
Okay,
was
well,
told
then
if I say anything, I will be sued. So I'm gonna keep quiet. I'll see you Saturday, Charles.
I'm gonna get you.
But let's move on to something else. But hi, Charles. Let's talk about some other tag teams.
Let's talk about Nerd World Order because this is something that's been very special to me and Ray. I feel like because obviously you guys see it all over the network. We're big supporters of Synergy Wrestling, and again, like before Joey became Sweet Cheeks, like, you know, like I know him. I mean, he's been on the network as Joey Silver, and then he's come back as Sweet Cheeks on the Under the Ropes episodes, as you guys have seen. And Kip Stevens is another one that, you know, we adore. And what?
He's gonna hit me with a banana on Saturday, isn't he?
He's gonna hit you with a banana at the Wawa.
Oh, it has to be at the Wawa.
It has to be at the Wawa because he came up behind me with a banana. So he's gonna.
That
hit
just
Ray.
Sounds so weird.
I know. I'm sorry.
And this isn't one of those episodes or columns on that usually it's very like that. Like this is just us.
I don't have props.
I didn't plan any props either. Like I got nothing. I got dog toys around me. Should I use that? Like
whatever. I mean, Fat Pharaoh's here from AEP, so Fat Pharaoh.
But yeah, so Nerd World Order's been killing it. Even though I feel like 2021 is the year for them to really make something of themselves. Because I feel like this year we just got a taste. We just got a taste of what they are. I still don't know, are they a tag team or are they an alliance? I want to see what happens next year, and I want to see, could we possibly see them somewhere else as well? Who knows?
I'm loving the shirts, though. Guys,
yeah, the shirts
merch.
have been...
Merch is very important to all the wrestlers out there, too. So it's like, if they're not working, like, please support by buying merch. A lot got pins, patches, shirts. Like there is a lot of amazing things. I mean, I think we need to start a feed also like on the No Holds Barred network as well for all our friends out there to put their merch under because most of our Under the Ropes episodes that you guys watch, if they have merch, we list it in the description. A lot of them are, if they don't have merch, some of them are just doing DMs that you can actually message them. So I think going forward after this episode, I think we're going to post on the No Holds Barred network and even in our Facebook group, the No Holds Barred network as well, to make a link for all the wrestlers out there so you can help and support, especially this time where even right like December, there's not as many shows, and now like January's coming.
It's gonna be a harder time, guys. And I feel like again, but before we do say that as well, if you have extra, we're not telling you guys to go out of your way either if you're also not with funds. Like they get that as well. Like they're human just like everyone else. They're regular working people as well. So if you guys have some extra funds lying around and you want to buy a t-shirt, then go support. Again, there's a bunch of ways you can support these guys. Some even have a Patreon where you can donate up to $1 and you get some crazy content out of them as well. Yeah. So definitely support your local indie wrestlers. And again, wearing a shirt, just like any other, can be the easiest thing to help them get their stuff out there. Absolutely. So definitely do that. And again, it means so much to them. You don't even know how much it really means to them just to be able to see people be that invested in them that they want to buy a shirt, buy a sticker, buy a patch, buy a little pin. Like
I've been loving
it means the world.
I've been loving the pins lately too. I have a couple, like as you guys see in my background, my tree's down, so my shrine is back up in the background. So I have very special pieces back there. Our boy Dave, he does pops. And I've had Gangone made, and I had Alex Zane made by him. He does amazing work. He paints as well. He's been on.
That's another guy. Yeah. Please support Dave, man. Yeah. Like Dave Cole is a guy that, again, I respect the hell out of, and the dude does some amazing stuff. Like again, if you guys want, even like he does little like canvases. Mm-hmm. He does some amazing work. I've seen the pops. I've seen the canvases. He's done ring canvases, guys. Like, imagine how great his artwork is that promotions have entrusted them to make their canvas. New Japan and ROH entrusted them with their canvas. Imagine that.
And
So
even
definitely you're getting your money's worth.
G1, like again, like if you haven't seen that episode of Under the Ropes, please go back and watch it because it was really amazing. Because like everything is important in the independent world. So he talked about that, how special that was, even to see that at Madison Square Garden. I mean, I was there live. Like, how cool is that? Even the collective this year, again, like I said, I feel like this episode I'm going to be scattered brain because it's just going to be like the little things that are going to make me go back and forth. And just talking about Dave right now is just, you know, again, like we got to see, you know, his canvas at the collective, which was so cool. And then our friend JPQ, shout out to you, his logo was on the canvas as well. So how cool is that?
No, it is amazing. And again, it goes like we said, this wrap up of the year is going to be so like unorganized, but that's the fun of it. Like talking about that, like we were lucky to be able to have Dave on the podcast this year. And that conversation to me was, again, like I take all these as just a learning tree. Right. And Dave was such a great conversation, learned so much from Dave. And again, if Dave's watching or watches later on, I still want that match, Dave. Still looking forward to that next year.
Deb, you
we gotta make that work.
You put a lot on your list this year. You know, like we all joke around about my list of husbands, that it gets like very long, and you know the roll, it just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling with my list of husbands. You know, but I feel like you've been building your own list with a lot of our interviews on Under the Ropes this year of like personal matches that you definitely want, you know, in the future.
No, I switched the name of the list. It's not even a want anymore. These are matches I need. Ooh. That's what I called this list now. Because again, it's stuff that I was like joking around, but it's like I'm serious about most of these names, and we're just gonna fuck it. Let's shoot the shit now and talk about it. Like I said, Dave is one of those guys. So Dave, I'm looking at you, brother. We got Gangone in there, your number one husband.
Yes.
He's number one on this list as well, because I need that match.
Gangone's like number one on a lot of people's list.
Because he's that good, but also to me, it means a lot more than people would know. So that match to me has a lot more that would mean so much. Yeah. Adam Kane, I didn't forget about you here, brother. You're on my list, and you're at number 2. Ooh. So yeah, we'll see you down the line. Another one who we still haven't had on the podcast. Eventually, we definitely got to try some way to get him on. It's a little bit of a weird thing because he doesn't technically speak, so I don't know how we could. But Smiley, that's another one on my list.
Gotta, you know, pull that off.
We got to try to work that.
Can we get a translator?
I have to see, because I understand him, but it's hard to be able to then explain to the fans what he's saying. So we gotta work on that. But eventually, okay. So Smiley's on that list. Okay. Eric Corvus, who I know on Saturday. He's not so happy with me because of stuff I've been saying. So I'm scared to see what Eric Corvus is going to do to me on Saturday.
He told me that I have to throw red streamers at him Saturday.
Okay. So there we go. See, I'm wearing red. I'm being nice. See, red. No?
The save.
Can I?
The save.
Then another person we had on the podcast, still one of my favorite episodes to date, JT Dunn.
Yes.
JT Dunn, that match, again, means a lot. Just, you guys heard it on the podcast. If you haven't, please go check that out. I explained why this would mean so much to me in there. So, yeah, JT Dunn's a match. Our good buddy, the Switch Kid, the game changer himself, Leroy. Big game Leroy. That has to happen. Yes. Me and Leroy have to switch it up in there.
Are you going to, like, play Switch with him?
No.
No?
Mm-mm. No games in that ring.
Oh. Okay.
last two, these are the ones that's like, I feel like by the time I get to them, I'm already either dead or just like in so much pain, but we're going to keep going. Monster Mac.
Okay. Yes.
That one, I think it's self-explanatory. Veteran, someone I grew up watching. We had him on the pod. He said yes, surprisingly. So Monster Mac. And last but not least, we just spoke to him last night. The selfie superstar himself, Steve Scott.
Yes.
So there you go. my list of matches I need to have. Let's see what happens next year, guys.
What do you guys think of his list? I think it's a good list. Is there anybody that you guys think that, we left out that you would like to see? But
yeah, let me know, guys. Let me know. And if there's anybody in the chat that is a worker that you would want to wrestle me, let me know. We'll talk about it.
I feel like you're going to be on Brandon Kirk's list.
But I kept putting him to win matches and synergy. I kept saying he's gonna win. We should be friends. Come on, Brandon. We have matching hair. Come on.
Well,
we should be good buddies. But let's keep going about tag team wrestling because we left so many teams that were named in the chat as well. Violence is Forever.
Yeah.
Kevin Koo and Dominic Guarini. Those two, I feel like I see them and I see like this generation's Red Dragon. That's what I see. I see them being those next guys to be just like Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish were. Like they've been killing it on the scene. Just got picked up by MLW. They're going to be something to look out for definitely in the next year.
Yeah.
So that's been good to see in tag team wrestling.
Brad brought up the Sea Stars. He's huge.
The Sea Stars. I love
fans.
the Sea.
Yes.
I love the Sea Stars. I'm glad they've been getting a lot more shine this year. They currently are the Battle Club Pro Tag Team Champions. So that's awesome to get to see like a women team dominate.
Yeah.
Like not even just because they're women, but just to get to see that's insane as well. And getting to see them now on Impact Television as well, getting to see them take that opportunity, that's been great. So again,
Chris brought up Top Flight, which is great because I've seen them like before that they even got like signed in AEW, and it's so crazy that they're so young and they're so talented, and I can only imagine like 5 years from now what's it gonna be like, and to see them at the Collective like was amazing. And if like you guys out there have not watched the Collective, it is on IWTV now. Like they moved it over there from Fight, so now you can watch it over on IWTV, and you should watch it because it was really good. Like our goal, if things do get better next year, is we really want to go to the Collective big time next year. Like it's all about the indies for us. I think like, again, I'm the queen of the indies, and yeah, I don't know everything, but like I just love discovering new talent. And I feel like 2020, with everything that's happened, we've discovered a lot of new talent this year. There was a lot
definitely
of names.
You know what it is also, and I'll be real with it, like this is something that this is a game changer in itself, like AEW and the amount of promotions that have come out to be major signed promotions. They've left that void in indie wrestling that a lot of people stepped up this year.
Yeah.
I'll say that because again, usually we know it's WWE that usually picks up a few, like especially like WrestleMania season, they start picking up people and then it's like, okay, who's going to step up next?
Right.
And now it's like you have AEW signing people, you have WWE signing people, and it's like new people are coming in, and it's like finally people are getting their chance to shine. And it's like it's crazy to see when someone else is stepping up and then they're gone as well. And then boom and boom and boom. Look at the people just that independently have gotten signed this year.
Yeah.
The Rascals, they had a hell of a year. And now boom, they're signed.
Alex Zane.
Alex Zane's another one. Top Flight, they're another team.
You know,
these guys killed it this year, and now it pays off.
It's so crazy to me because like I had Alex Zane on last year, and then I brought him back. He was in Japan the first time that we talked to him on Under the Ropes. Then I brought him back, and I had said to him that, you know, obviously he's one of my favorites. He's number 2 husband and everything, and I was like, I selfishly don't want my guys to get signed because then I'll miss seeing you, right? But he said to me, he understood where I was coming from, but he said to me, he was like, but we have to move on. He was like, because then it opens a spot for somebody else. He goes, and that's what
exactly
him.
Like I said, you know? It's how this works. Like it's been great to see that, to see guys that, again, Alex Zane was one of those guys that took a spot and now the spots open up again.
Right.
And guys like Blake Christian, guys like Leo Rush coming back to the independent scene are taking those spots and running with it.
Yeah.
Like even Brad mentioned the team besties in the world.
Yeah.
I saw them, first time I saw them was last year at a Destiny and Fight Club Pro show here in New York. And those guys have a killer look that I feel like they're going to get picked up any day now.
Yeah.
Their theme, it's funny because I can't remember the name of the theme right now, but it's just the most catchiest thing. When you hear it, you're like, who the hell is coming out to this song? Because it doesn't feel like it works for wrestling, but it's just perfect for them.
Yeah.
And they're another great tag team. Brad mentioned the West Coast Wrecking Crew.
Oh,
They're
yes.
another two
They're
guys
so
that
good.
killed it.
They're so good. You know, it's funny because like me and Ray, like obviously we follow a lot of East Coast, right? We live in New York. We know a lot of New York guys, you know, Jersey, you know, even like Massachusetts, but now we're starting to like, I mean, we follow random stuff because we do watch stuff in Chicago. We do watch stuff in Vegas. We do watch stuff in Florida. So it's not just we're being so biased, and that's why I say it's very difficult to like know everybody, and with all the wrestling.
No, I
there.
definitely don't think I'll ever be truly biased with it because I try to watch everything. I try to watch a little bit of everything just because I'm always scouting the next batch of talent. I never know who's going to be that next guy, and I try to watch a little bit of everything. And the amount of talent out there that's not even seen yet is insane.
Right.
Like, again, the guys we're going to talk about today aren't just New York guys. Like, if I just want to talk about New York guys, that's it. It's going to be a whole episode. But again, there's so much more.
Yeah.
There's so much more, and we definitely going to try to touch on. If we don't mention someone, please mention them in the chat. We'll definitely try to talk about it. It's, again, we're only human, guys. So we're only going to be able to remember so many names right now.
And that's why we try also to, with like the Under the Ropes, is we try to give you a little bit of variety of all over the place. So, you know, we just have so many random people, you know, come on the podcast, and we try to do one a week, if possible, because I don't want to like bombard the network between the fact that we run AEP and then we do Indy Talks and every once in a while do a wrestling forum. So I don't want to like overload interviews as well. But there's so many in our heads that we want to get on. So as you guys see, LSG's coming on next week on Tuesday. So I'm really excited about that. Matt McIntosh is coming on, and Dylan McKay from H2O is coming on soon as well. So just look out for those interviews. Like, so I'm, you know, me and Ray are trying to get other, you know, a little bit of variety of talents on as well for you guys. Maybe names like you just don't even know. And our whole point is to, you know, we're interested, and, you know, we want you guys to find out about a lot of these talents as well. So, but let me shout this out because Margaret wrote, "The Unguided is a tag team to watch next year. With the world seeing them on GCW Slime season, I cannot wait to see where they go from here." And she says, and I'm not saying that because number 4 husband.
Hey, again, there's so many great talent out there. The Unguided I got to see at that show, and they're two guys that I knew had something. But again, it's hard to talk about it a lot of times because not that many people know about them, especially in our area, because they're not usually in the tri-state.
Right.
And again, that's going to change so much because wrestling again is opening up again. There's so many places that are losing talent because they're moving on to greater pastures, and that's not a bad thing. That's good because it means that the indies system is working. Yeah. So I love it. And what's up, Conrad? I see Conrad's in the chat. How's it going, brother?
And
how are you doing?
We got fan base all over the place, so it's not just, again, like, yeah, we have a couple of personal friends that like listen to us too, but we got people in Europe, Australia, all over the place that are listening to us. So, you know.
Speaking of Australia, that's another tag team, Aussie Open.
There you go.
That's a team you guys have to check out. If you guys can watch anything in the UK, because they're definitely more based out of the UK now, definitely check out Aussie Open. Check out Kyle Fletcher. Check out, why am I forgetting the other guy's name? No. I know its last name is Davis. I forgot its first name. But definitely check them out. Definitely check them out because they're another team that, again, outside of the States that have killed it. It came to the States last year, and they were supposed to come back this year. I had a conversation with them over the summer last year, and the plans they had, I'm sad that, unfortunately, with everything going on, it couldn't work out. But definitely check them out. And check out, again, try to watch everything you can, guys.
Yeah.
There's so much talent.
There's a
So-
lot. And again, like these guys, like they go on, they get signed into like you never know. You might see them in New Japan, you might see them in Impact, you might see them go to AEW, they might go to WWE. So like that's why this is why we've added indie wrestling to the network, because it is the foundation of wrestling. It's so important. So, but what I'm going to do now is, because we got so many comments, I'm going to read a couple of the comments, and then we'll go into like another topic, and then we'll come back to some more comments that we got. So, I put out a fan tweet, and, I said, we want to hear from you. Tell us your favorite indie wrestler, promotion, newcomer, your favorite match of 2020. Anything independent wrestling was what I was looking for in this tweet. Maybe you discovered somebody you didn't know before. Maybe there was something that, your favorite match, or maybe something stuck out to you that, that you want to talk about, and that's what I was looking for in that tweet. And if you're listening to this later, like, hey, comment below, let us know anything independent wrestling wise. I want to hear it. So Bert Macklin said, I've become a huge fan of Blake Christian this year. Now, if you guys know, like, I'm like also obsessed with Blake Christian as well, and he's definitely one of my favorites, and it's so great to see like how much he's come. Like, I think 2021 is going to be his year, because he's really broken out this year, and more I feel like towards the end of this year, I feel like as well. I mean, I don't know what you think, Ray, about Blake.
No, I said it. That's why I said it earlier. Like, I feel like Blake is definitely taking the ball and running with it.
Yeah.
The dude has made a niche for himself, and I feel like, again, sky's the limit.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely see he's done a lot of crazy things this year. So we'll see how it goes next year.
Yes. So our next tweet is from Metal. He said his favorite indie wrestler is Blake. His favorite promotion is Black Label Pro and GCW. Newcomer is Akira. Breakout is Tankman and Atticus. Moment is Alex Colon winning top 5. Tag team Violence is Forever. Show Black Label Pro, Eric Stevens, Presence Professional Wrestling, and Champion RSP. I love this tweet. I love like all the different things that he gave us, because it's just like I know each one that he posted about, which is so great. And it's so great like that people like live all over the place. Like, here is Metal, who lives in Illinois, and I love it that we can talk like Black Label Pro, and I think I got into like Black Label Pro because of him. And it's still one of my bucket lists is to go over there with Metal and go see a Black Label Pro. That's definitely on my bucket list. So I need 2021 to, stop with this COVID shit, so I can take a flight out and go hang out with Metal and go see Black Label Pro. So,
oh man.
But
but again, great matches, great list there, great talent. Like, that's the thing. It's so much. I know it's so hard to like narrow it down to just one, to just another. Like, it's so hard. And that's why we wanted this episode, because it's like we're not just going to pick a certain person. We're going to talk about what we think in certain topics, multiple people, because it's like it's so hard to narrow it down to
there's
just
a lot.
this. Like,
now, okay, so I was gonna run with this. Okay,
all right.
I was gonna run with this, and then again, like we'll go after some more fan tweets, because two things, like, well, I mean, a lot of things spark out from this tweet to us, right? Now, newcomer, obviously, he said Akira. Akira is one of my husbands. He's like number 3 husband. All right. And now that like Alex Zane is like signed, I feel like I have to take Alex Zane off the list and I have to move Akira up, right? So, but anyway, Akira for me is newcomer of the year for me for 2020. And I fell instant in love with him with his match against Matt Tremont at ICW. That's where I really fell in love with him. And I'm like, who is this guy? And I kept talking about him. And I was like, I need him on the podcast. And that's all I kept telling Ray. And we got him on the podcast. So that's another Under the Ropes episode. And Ray will tell you how hard I marked out when I met him in person. I loved him so much. What? Why are you making faces? You're doing the face like with Gangone that day. Like, what the hell, Ray?
No faces.
Yeah,
No
okay, no
faces.
faces.
Um, no, I could definitely see that. The guy, again, finally getting introduced to the tri-state market of wrestling, um, definitely showcased and made a statement quick. Like Akira definitely proved not only can he go in there in that deathmatch style, but definitely can work.
Yeah.
Definitely can work in there and has some great potential. Hopefully, again, 2021 brings some greater stuff for him, and hopefully, we can even see him booked somewhere not in a death match. Like I want to see him in a
Yes.
very I want to see
Technical?
him versus guys that don't just do death match. I want to see
Yeah.
technical style. I want to see him
He
versus
wants
someone
it
maybe
too.
even bigger. I want to see how he can really go in there and um again 2021 can bring that.
Hey, and then we saw him with Alex Colon. I saw that match live. It was a bucket list that me and Ray had created, like dream matches. It was at our our indie slam that we did,
Yeah.
and I booked Alex Colon and Akira, and I had Alex Colon on and Akira on under the ropes, and we talked about that. And boom, Danny Zamanto booked it, and thank you, Danny Zamanto, so much also as well because he's brought a lot of undiscovered talent from West Coast that I was unaware of, and all over that I've been loving as well. So I have some new favorites. But to see that even live, Alex Colon and Akira at ICW was just amazing.
Yeah, but definitely has been. So again, so many names for this like newcomer, and it's funny because this little subject here, it's not guys that are just starting out this year. It's guys that I feel like they finally kicked that door open this year and made something. Because I have three guys just right now. I'm gonna like just blurt out. Let's talk about it. Guys like again, he was in our chat earlier. He talked so much shit, but he still, I feel like this year reinvented himself and made something. Charles Mason. Charles Mason, I feel like this year made something of his own. Last year, I feel like he was still finding himself in a sense. And I feel like this year we saw what Charles Mason really is about. We got to hear what Charles Mason is about. And I think the feud at Synergy really showcased to another side of people that this is what Charles Mason is. And this is what the root of all evil is.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see him being one of those guys like breakout star of the year. Another guy that this dude has he's been up and coming and killed it this year. Lee Moriarty.
Yes.
The dude killed it this year. Like I saw in so many of our fan tweets, I saw this guy's name mentioned, and the dude blew up. His weekends were just booking after booking after booking, and the matches he had, like him versus Alex Shelley was insane. Him versus Jonathan Gresham, like the dude was having killer matches and stepped up to the plate. And finally this year, I feel like he got that notoriety that again, it was a spot that was missing and boom.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. You were gonna say someone else.
Oh no, the last one, just like again off the top, TJ Crawford.
Yeah.
TJ Crawford, I feel like he's another one that even when we had him on, we spoke about it. He was finding himself. And I feel like this year he really started to own his craft and really become a character. He became something else, and I feel like it's gonna skyrocket him next year.
Yeah.
Like the crown was just a first step. And even like we spoke about last night, I always think that championship, the hunt is better than the actual reign at times.
Yeah.
So I feel like his hunt now for not even just Synergy Gold, but for a lot of promotions, the dude is going to kill it. And I feel like he's definitely going to be that next player next year.
So I'm going to elaborate a couple things. So Margaret brought up the fact how John Wayne Murdoch threw Akira into me. I can't. I was in love. I was very happy. That video was great. That was definitely it's so great. Like we talked about this last night with Colin and Steve, that I just love going through my phone and going back on old footage that I've taken at shows, just even to see that, like John Wayne like grabbing Akira with the barbed wire, which is actually hanging on my shrine back there, and throwing Akira into me, and then banging his head into Rob from Bob Culture Podcast. So that was a great moment, and we talked about that with John Wayne Murdoch on the podcast as well. Charles Mason, even though like he said we smell like mayonnaise and all that shit, he's still on the husband list. But I've been a huge fan of him. I wrote an article on Dennis's website as well, one of my love letters to Charles Mason, and I've been a huge fan, even at House of Glory. And I love his bankroll. That was like one of my favorite moves. I wish that would come back. So if you're still listening,
I feel like I look like I'm crying right now from coughing, and it's funny. Like someone's gonna think I'm getting emotional here, and I'm just trying to stop coughing. Jeez,
it's the light.
The water didn't help. No, I
sparkly.
started choking on water.
He's getting sparkly. He's turning into Edward right now.
Oh man, this is what indie wrestling does, guys. It gets you emotional.
TJ Crawford's another one. I have to tell you, he's been so entertaining as a heel. I love it. Like,
and didn't I say that was I said it. If he turned heel, I felt like it would just be that full switch that he needed. Like I told you, I kept telling you when that tournament started, I'm like, he's going to turn heel.
Right.
I said it. I kept saying, like, he needs something. There's something there that's like, it could happen. And boom, that finals, it worked out. And again, even though he hit me pretty hard though, TJ, I'm still not too happy about that. But
maybe you'll get him back.
Maybe that's a match that needs to happen as well. But
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
All right, let me move on to some more fan tweets. We're gonna move forward. So Bob Culture Podcast, he said his fave is Casey Navarro, which we know, big fan. His feud and let's see, his what is it called? Match of the month is Casey versus TJ, which we absolutely loved. It was one of the best storytelling matches for months of the build up at Synergy, right? What were you gonna say?
I feel like Bob just likes everyone that has the name KC though.
Yeah.
This list is just KC.
Mm-hmm. That's it. And his favorite newcomer is Kaya McKenna. So like she's another one that she's been making moves. She was just on Leapfrog this week as well. So she's another one that's been making moves up the ladder as well.
Definitely.
All right. So Don says favorite wrestler, MV Young. His favorite promotion is Limitless. Newcomers, Alec Price. And match is Lee versus Alex Shelley.
Yes. That match, again, I mentioned it earlier when I mentioned Lee. The match is insane. Like they killed that matchup, man. And like again, he stepped up. Alex Shelley, that veteran in there. Like Alex Shelley has had a killer year. Finally coming back to independent wrestling. Like it's insane to see what Alex Shelley can still do. Like he's no slouch. The man, again, not to call him old, the guy's a vet. And the dude is moving in there like he hasn't missed a beat.
Speaking of people coming back, I love that we got to see Arcadia. I was so excited. Like, oh my God, his match with Joe Gacy at Synergy. Like, I was just in awe.
That to me, like, again, like last year we were lucky we got to see Arcadia live as well in the Best of the Light Heavyweights. Yeah. And seeing Arcadia again in there with Joe Gacy, it's, again, Arcadia doesn't miss a beat. The dude goes insane in there. And I feel like, guys, again, check out IWTV, check out Jersey All Pro, and watch Arcadia, man. Like, if you like this high-flying style, this flippy style that people bring now, watch Arcadia.
Yeah.
This dude was doing stuff in a time where you never saw this. Like, and he was one of those guys that was doing that. And it's just, even today, it's still jaw-dropping.
Right.
The man hit a variation of a curb stomp that he turned into a leg drop mid-air. Like, come on. How do you not pop for something like that? Arcadia, like, he's another dude that's like, it's funny. I wanted to put Arcadia on that list, but I feel like that's a match that I don't think I'll have the time to get. That's a match with Arcadia. You have to earn his respect. It's a guy that, again, I would love to hopefully see him one day face Jordan Oliver singles, just because I feel like Jordan is becoming like a modern day Arcadia.
He really has. He's another one that's been like upcoming, right? Like here's someone
I
that
wouldn't even call him upcoming. I say that Jordan Oliver was like a breakout star of the year.
Yeah, you're
The
right.
dude came into his own. The dude he really grew. Like we spoke about it with Colin. We spoke about it with multiple people about it. That Jordan Oliver was one of those guys that finally, I think, found himself. And I said this, like, MLW did him great. Yeah. Getting to be on that stage really helped him develop, and now we see it. We're going into a show on Saturday, and this isn't the same Jordan Oliver that you saw like in 2015, 2016, growing up in SWF. This isn't the Jordan Oliver that like was a twig, not to offend the guy, but Jordan Oliver at one point was very small, did not look like he was going to be able to move anybody. And now this dude is killing it, is stealing the show, has gotten to wrestle in Mexico, has gotten to wrestle for Major League Wrestling for their championships, getting to wrestle in multiple of these promotions now, and killing it and stealing it on IWTV, on Fight TV, and on Saturday getting to fight for a championship, a heavyweight championship, looking like a true heavyweight. It's insane.
It's crazy. And here's someone that I was not like a fan of, and I'm telling you, like I jumped on the train, you know, like he's had some great matches. Him versus Reed, you know, him versus Ace Austin. And I love the first one that we saw at Synergy, a never seen match before, right? And like I know a lot of people love the second match more. Me, I was so in love with the first match we saw.
You know what it is though? It's because we were there.
But we were there that's for the second one at Synergy. I mean, well, there was second one was at the Collective. The second one was at the Collective, and then the third one was at Synergy again. Yeah. Me personally, the first one was the best one, and we were there for the third one. And the first one still sticks out to me.
The third stuck out to me just because it was the culmination. I feel like both knew what the other could bring by now. And again, even that first one, they knew, because it's weird that they never faced anywhere just because they grew up in a similar pattern. Both were going through that dojo system. Both did a lot of similar steps. And to see that series over this last few months, it was great to see. And it's not the last time we're going to see them wrestle either. I see those guys wrestling a lot more, and especially on a major stage.
Yeah.
Be it wherever it is, if it's an elite stage, if it's a major stage, if it's an impactful stage, or if it's an entertainment stage.
Right.
Wherever it is, they definitely are going to keep killing it. And again, Jordan Oliver to me just broke out this year. That's one of the guys, like, we should transition into breakout stars. Jordan was one of those guys. Yeah. Even Ace Austin was another guy that I feel like even with Impact, he rose to that occasion, that to the main event scene. And it made sense. The dude was killing it. Yeah. He killed it. He held that X Division title for so long. And even doing both that and the independence, Ace didn't miss a step.
You know, it's funny. Like, I feel like me personally, even though like he's been around for a while, but I feel like 2020 has been the year of John Wayne Murdoch as well, because he's been freaking killing it this year as well. Like, it's just crazy. I've seen him all over the place, and everything that the opportunities that he's been given this year, like, it's been nuts. Like, we just watched him with Orin with that Iron Man match at ICW, like him and Reed Bentley and Akira, like, killing it all over. Yeah. Like, I don't know, like, he, again, another great interview, amazing person, like, but he's another one who went to No Peace in Florida. It's just, wow.
No, yeah, he's definitely, and this is again, like, I feel like John Wayne Murdoch became, I'll put him into the breakout star category, because he broke out in that deathmatch scene. I'll give you that it's like, for that scene, he definitely was one of those killers in there. Like this
Yeah.
dude made it this year. He
Yeah.
was shown like he can hang in there. In the main event, like it was like show after show that we kept saying, "Oh, this is probably gonna be the main event." Wait, so what's left? Oh shit, it's John Wayne Murdoch.
Yeah.
And it's like the dude really rose to the occasion, and I feel like in that deathmatch scene, it means a little more because it's not your average match. You're going in there, you're going in a fight, you're bleeding, you're doing this, you're doing a lot of stuff. So to get trusted with that, I definitely commend him, and I say 2021 again. Hopefully everything works out that we possibly can see John Wayne in Japan.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, especially for that deathmatch scene, that's what you want to see. You want to see, can they make it to Japan? And when they're over there, what happens?
Right.
Because that's their, I think, if again, for guys that are listening, let me know if I'm mistaken, but I feel like that's their mecca. Japan is that mecca because that is where you have the style that was created by Onita over there. Like FMW is like, to me, is that big stake over there. Big Japan right now has been killing it with that. Like, there's so much over there, deathmatch wise as well, that I feel like that's where you want to see guys like Murdoch, like we said earlier, as the up and comer Akira. I feel like Akira, if he can make it over there, he's definitely going to be something big in the States come next year.
And he's got a cute dog. I need to meet the dog.
The dog gives him bonus points.
Yes, the dog gives him bonus points, but like.
But I'm gonna take from the chat right now.
Okay.
Chris mentions Calvin Tankman, and he's another one that I feel like was a breakout star this year.
And he was another one that's like wasn't familiar with. I know me personally, like I wasn't familiar with at all. And again, here's GCW was another company as well that brought a lot of new talent that maybe a lot of people weren't aware of and made us get behind. And Tankman was definitely one to be talking with. And I feel like AJ Gray should be mentioned in there too, because I feel like I didn't know AJ Gray. And he came also into like GCW as well. And it kind of blew up as well this year for me.
AJ, I feel like is gotten his due though. AJ's definitely, this isn't his first rodeo, and AJ's definitely, I feel like was the talk of the town for a while though. Calvin, I feel like he finally got it, and again, in a short amount of time, rose to the top quick. Right. Like the dude, I feel like again, it's another situation of a spot was missing and he took it.
Right.
Like he's a big guy, but a very agile guy, a very like fast-paced guy. He took that spot of missing guys like Donovan Dijak in there, guys like Keith Lee, guys. There's some big guys that we lost this year, guys like Brian Cage, and Calvin Tankman has rose in there and is killing it.
Yeah.
Like, and Calvin again get picked up by Major League Wrestling. I commend MLW for picking up a lot of these like quick guys because they're getting a nice batch of the future right there.
Yeah. So
it's been insane.
I'm gonna read a DM because I got a personal DM. So it's from our boy Chris from DDT Archive. He said he wrote me like a whole paragraph. So I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna go back and forth like all over the place because like I said, there was Facebook, there was all sorts of comments. So I'm going back and forth. So but this one was sent to me. So he said promotion, local, synergy, talented roster from top to bottom, nationally how do you say Paragon? I know
Paradigm
Pro Wrestling. Their use of UWFI rules gives a unique view experience. Newcomers, Charles Mason, dude just kills it every time out. Keeps getting better every match. His character development has been second to none on the independent level. Match of the year, TJ Crawford versus Anthony Bowens Iron Man match from Wrestle Pro, another great company. Wrestler of the year locally, I'm going to say Casey. She had to have an awesome year and keeps growing as a performer. Nationally, I'm going to go with Travis Titan and Dion Russman. These dudes are killing it and push each other to get better. Both will be in major companies full time by the end of 2021. So thank you, Chris. Definitely.
Just to correct Chris a bit, Charles Mason isn't a character. He's just an asshole.
He's an asshole.
It's not a character. Charles Mason is just an asshole. He's developed his assholeness. but still an asshole.
Wait, can I just like praise him on his weird videos? Like, I like the video that he had posted of him with the therapist, and he's like, she wasn't poor. Like, I still think that's like my favorite one that he did.
I'm not gonna praise Charles Mason. I'm gonna praise Big Hodge Media for
Okay, let's
for
do it.
having the patience to
Deal with his
to
assholeness.
deal with that, because yeah. Also, whoever, I don't think it was Big Hodge that filmed that last one. Whoever filmed that where he's beating up a poor defenseless man, why did you not call the police? Whoever filmed that last one, like there's a guy out there just bruised up. Like,
Shout out to Ray for taking that hit of Mason ripping up my freaking signs at Synergy and throwing them at him. So
I still have a cut like right there. Like, I don't know if you can see it now because of the lighting, but I still have like a cut. Like,
you see it, Edward? Edward.
But yeah, great list right there. There's so much, so many guys. Like, again, like, we're gonna forget someone, and I feel bad, but there's so much. There's so much to talk about, and that's a great thing about independent wrestling. It's not going anywhere, so it's not like, oh, we forgot about him. That's it. It's like, no, tomorrow's a new day, and there's still gonna be more wrestling. Next year, it's gonna be another killer year for independent wrestling.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about independent wrestling. That's like, again, it just breeds some crazy talent. And then we get to see them in main stages on television, like with WWE, like with AEW, like with Impact, like with New Japan, like with ROH, like with MLW. Like, I'm trying to name all the major companies because I feel like, again, this system has been perfected. You get to see them grow and develop and then shine on those bright stages, and it's great to see.
So I'm gonna read. Brad did a tweet for my goddaughter Kathy. So she said, "Wrestler of the year is our girl Casey and Alley Cat. Match of the year, any match with Casey or Alley Cat. And promotion of the year is whoever Casey or Alley Cat are."
I feel like that's a very straight to the point list.
Yeah.
Also, guys, warning: Kathy has a mean chop.
Yeah, she chopped the hell out of you.
Like, damn, like this, how?
You got killed by an 8-year-old.
I got beat up by an 8-year-old, man. That's not fair.
Go Pro Wrestling wrote favorite indie wrestler Matt McIntosh.
Yes, the bad apple.
Before I move on, can we please talk about his match with Yuta? It was probably one of the best technical matches of 2020 for me. For me.
Yeah. It definitely was something. I feel like their second match was so much better, I feel like.
Yes,
because we got to see the like everything like at 100%.
Yes.
And it was so funny because the first one they're still feeling it out. Matt McIntosh sadly wasn't at 100%. But even the crowd involvement in that second match just made it so much better. And I feel like we definitely still need a third.
Oh, yes.
We need that third match eventually. And I feel like it's going to be even better because both guys are great technically in there. Matt McIntosh, the dude, again, I don't call him a breakout star of the year. I don't call him a newcomer because Matt McIntosh has been killing it. Like, he's a guy I wouldn't be surprised next year signed. Honestly. Like, Matt McIntosh has been killing it, be it WrestlePro, be it Fibro Wrestling, be it Creative Pro, be it with Pro Wrestling Syndicate. Like, so many promotions you've seen Matt McIntosh just kill it in the tri-state, and I feel like he needs to get out there. Like, people need to see this guy outside of the tri-state and be able to see why he's just, like, that good.
Yeah.
Like, and again, this isn't because he's a tri-state guy that I'm putting him over. Matt McIntosh, I feel like, is just good, man. Like, he's definitely one of those guys that has that look to him, has a good style to him, and is clean in that ring.
Yeah. And it was so, and we talked about this on one of the Indy Talk episodes where we had Colin here, and it was just that special. I mean, I know I can say this. I'm pretty sure Ray can agree with me. But to have even Colin sit with us during this match, and he goes, "This is real wrestling right here," like, was a lot. Like, it meant a lot to us. Like, we were joking around that he said that, we need a babysitter because of all the stuff that was going on with all the craziness. And, if you watch the Indy Talks episodes, you see all the craziness that we were, playing around with Yuta and McIntosh. And it was even people around
Yeah, but
us.
he was definitely, like,
Yeah.
Colin really wanted that front row seat because I feel like you needed that.
Yeah.
You needed to see this match up close and personal because that match was just killing it. And again, like I said, they can wrestle 10 times and each match will probably be different.
And me marking out for the perfect bridge. Okay. I will always mark out for perfect bridges out of you to shut up. Shut up. Okay? Anyway, I'm moving on. But
also, good cop, bad cop. Don't worry, guys. Like, we're gonna be on for a while. There's a reason why we started at 6 because
we knew this was gonna be a long.
This
episode.
is gonna be a long podcast because we haven't even scratched the surface. What have we gone to? 2 topics, or 3?
We're just going.
We're in the mix of a 3rd topic right now, so we're still going in. And I kind of want to talk about that. Let's talk about because you love your bridges. Let's talk about technical wrestling this year. Let's talk about technical wrestling because I feel like this year alone showed that guys can go again. And I feel like a little bit I have to say thanks to ROH for bringing that pure title back.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it made so many guys perfect their technical game. Like, again, not to be biased because he's one of my best friends, but Anthony Gangone, a guy that can kill it in that technical game, killed it this year with that. Like, Dreams by the Waterfall submission hold. Still, I don't see something better than that.
Yeah.
Like, that submission hold is great. Like we mentioned, Wheeler Yuta killing it in there in that submission game. Freddie Yehai finally got to make a return to pro wrestling and killed it in there.
Yeah.
Tony Deppen.
Oh, my God.
I still feel like Tony Deppen is, again, just scratching the surface, and I feel like that dude should be signed. He's good in that technical game, and it's still one of my match of the year, Deppen versus Shelley.
Yeah.
Deppen versus Shelley proved that Deppen can go in there because Alex Shelley, again, a veteran, a master technician, and they killed it in there.
It was funny because, I was at Brad's house the other day. We were talking about this and like everything that was going on with COVID. I would bring this up. I mean, like, again, scattered brain because we're talking about Tony Deppen now, so it's just like it brings up thoughts. And we were talking about the fact that Tony Deppen quit his job to pursue wrestling full time, right? And during the pandemic, a lot of these wrestlers weren't working, and then with his wife being pregnant, and somebody put out the wish list on Amazon, and the amount of presents and gifts from the fans being sent to Tony Deppen says so much. Like, to be so beloved like that and to help take care of, like little things like that was wow. Like that was something like I wanted to bring up on the podcast that I felt was kind of like really important. And I feel it's very special. And you don't really hear too many stories like that, but to actually see that and, it being posted by his wife and him of all the Amazon boxes and stuff, like how cool. Like,
no, and it's like I said, I feel like that, again, is the definition of the good of this year. Yeah. Because again, like it has been bad. They sadly both were contracted with the virus this year and going through all that, having to deal with that. It's insane. And I'm glad that happened because, again, it shows that there's still some good in this world. Yeah. And that was great. That's great. And Tony, again, a guy, like I said, killing it, stealing the show. And I feel like next year, but I say it now, he's signed next year. Yeah. I don't know where. Whoever does pick him up is going to have a great hand in there because the dude is killing it technically. Yeah. There's no guy that I feel like right now is matching Tony Deppen like that, and I feel like he's going to be signed next year. Yeah, definitely. So that's definitely been one guy that has been killing it. Daniel Garcia, Chris says, yes. Daniel Garcia, it's funny. We were watching one of the last, I ICW shows, the cage fights here. And when we saw Daniel Garcia come out to face Shane Mercer, I was like, this is about to be a fight.
We got excited.
Like, Daniel Garcia,
really
to me, is another guy that I feel like, oddly enough, like, I hope he doesn't get offended by this. I feel like Daniel Garcia shouldn't be in wrestling. I feel like Daniel Garcia needs to go UFC. Like, the dude is legit striking the hell out of people, man. That dude's mat game is untouched. Like, Daniel Garcia, like, I don't think it's a gimmick. I think he really can beat the shit out of someone in there. Yeah. And he proved it with Mercer. Like, Mercer is a big dude. Mercer usually isn't, like, taking damage like that. And Daniel Garcia beat the shit out of him for a while.
And then, Mercer, you just made me think, because we were talking about tag teams earlier, but him and KTB. Like, that, like, tag team was like,
I forgot about that.
Like, whoa.
Like, those two, I'm amazed, again, with how wrestling is. I'm amazed KTB and Mercer haven't been picked up as a tag team yet. Because that's a big man team. And that's not just a team that they're just doing powerhouse moves. Like, those guys can move in there. Those guys have been killing it. They killed the Ugly Ducklings, man. Like, another great tag team, the Ugly Ducklings. But their match with the Ducklings, if you saw them get tossed just around the ring and ragdolled, like, KTB and Mercer are just insane in there. Like,
Bear Country was another one we forgot to mention as well.
Bear Country, those are two guys, again, that I got to see grow in this business, man. Seeing them become this insane tag team and get the opportunities on Dark, that's been insane as well.
Yeah.
Like, can't wait to see what the future brings. I'm hoping Bear Country is another one of those teams that does get picked up, because tag team wrestling is just getting that boom. And I feel like they need to be on that main stage already. Like, they're killing it. They're definitely killing it.
I'm gonna go on to because there are a lot of repeats, so I'm not gonna read entire tweets, but if something pulls out to me, I'm gonna pull those tweets, because like I said, I got a lot of tweets, I got a lot of Facebook things, so I'm gonna go with this guy, Gazcar. He said newcomer for him is Elena Black. That's another one that, like, she came and she's dating Blake Christian, and she's like another one that I was like, like, when I first saw her, I was like, who is this chick? And I was like, I'm liking her gimmick. Like, she's coming out, like, I was like, okay. I was like, with the little coffin, like, I'm loving this character. And we see her at, like, GCW, and we see her at the Collective. So she's another one. He said match of the year for him was Jordan Oliver versus Chris Bay. That was great. That was on the YouTube of GCW. That was just so good. So good.
I feel like I like that match. I feel like they need to run it back, like, in a little bit. They need to run that match back, because I feel like, I don't know if it's just everything that happened that night overshadowed it a bit.
Yeah.
But I feel like that match definitely needs to happen again, and it would definitely kill it.
Yeah.
I feel like they definitely need to run that match back.
We're huge fans of Chris Bay over here. And I'm sure there was, like, a bunch of matches still that I wanted to see. I think, was it this year? Was it in the beginning of this year? Alex Zane and Chris Bay before. Well, Chris Bay's had some amazing year being signed with Impact. Like,
yeah, Chris Bay, he was another dude that I feel like he took that ball, ran with it, and Impact scooped him up quick. And I feel like he's definitely going to still be killing it. And that's a great thing. Again, a lot of these guys we're still getting to see on the independent circuit, and the matches that you would be like, we're never going to get to see that, have gotten to happen.
Yeah.
It's insane.
You never know where somebody's going to show up. But yeah, it was this year. It was earlier this year. It was right after the GCW show that I went after, because they went to Texas, and I was upset. I was like, damn, I wish I was in Texas for this match with Chris Bay and Alex Zane. But even me, like, I got to go, I was lucky enough to go to 2 GCW shows this year. In February, where I got to meet Alex Zane, and which was funny because he busted his toe. And then he was talking about Blake Christian kissing his toe, and that was really funny on Twitter, all that fun that I had with them. And I got to meet Effie in person and give him a hug, and that was amazing. Like, man, to experience that with Brad and Queen of NE was absolutely amazing. And then even me and Ray, we got to go to GCW in the summer and with Brad. And we got to see lots of light tubes, which I was loving.
Do you remember the name of the tournament, Tiff?
Shit, I knew you were gonna do that to me.
Do you remember?
I always say Tournament of Death, and it's not Tournament of Death because that's the
Tournament of
Survival.
It's TOS.
Yeah, Tournament of Survival.
Like,
so I know. But
and Ray's cousin sleep. Those road stories. You gotta love it.
Yes.
But yeah, there's so much out there, man. I'm gonna read another one of Brad's comments for Breakout earlier. We forgot him as well. Christian Casanova.
Oh yes.
Christian Casanova, that dude is another one that I feel like maybe a little more working around this and that could be signed next year.
Yeah.
Like the dude is killing it. Another guy that grew up in that Providence scene. And even JT Dunn put him over in our podcast when we spoke to him. Like Christian is definitely making something of himself. And look at that. He just became the Limitless champion not too long ago. So imagine he's getting that trust there, and it's insane to see.
Matt Austin's in the chat. He said Matt Austin's going to hand out a lot of chancla shots in 2021. So I'm looking forward to that. And we will see you at Synergy Wrestling this Saturday. So it's been a while since we've seen Matt Austin. So I think we're due for an updated pick. You know, it's been a while.
I'm hoping I'm not one of those that have to get a chancla shot because, no.
Yes.
I'm getting PTSD already from childhood.
Yes.
Wait, so he's going to be there Saturday?
Yes.
Oh, no.
I'm
going to get hit with a chancla, aren't I?
Yes. Chop Ray. And
so bananas, chanclas. Oh, God.
God knows what's going to happen. So.
Let's keep going, though.
All right.
Let's talk about, I feel like we have to talk about this because there's so many that fit this category.
Okay.
Let's talk about characters of this year because there's so many. There's so many guys that I feel like they've had some insane characters and are killing it and have just like developed like a cult following, pun intended, with one of the guys I'm going to talk about here. Like it's been insane. So let's talk about a few, Tiff. I know one of your favorites. He's mad. He's going to be mad at us because we've sworn a lot in this podcast, but Danhausen.
Yes.
Danhausen, I feel like this year, we didn't get to see him for a lot of it, sadly. Sadly, because of the pandemic, he missed most of the year because Canada was a little more secure than we were. So, but we finally got to see Danhausen a lot more out now this second part of the year. And again, Danhausen still with his promos online. The character is insane.
Yeah.
Danhausen, that character, man, it's grown so much. And it's funny to think about one of our first car rides we took, just laughing over that promo of him and Pinky Sanchez. That's like, your dude grabs you, man.
Yeah.
He grabs you, and that attention that those promos bring, and just that character itself, it's like.
His cameos
Same.
alone are hilarious. Like, I actually did the time hop the other day, and I saw the cat. Well, it was like little ones that he was doing personally before he went on to cameo, of him wishing Merry Christmas to me with his little like branch tree in the background.
Merry Christmas.
And I love his shirts, and I love the pins. Again, like he's just been great to watch, and he's another one that's on like Patreon and has like cooking shows on that are entertaining as hell.
Oh wait, Matt also says he's bringing coquito. Matt, can I have some coquito first? Before I get beat up, I gotta get some coquito.
Yes.
That's our deal. Like it's been blessed by our godfathers in wrestling. Yes. I must drink some as well.
Yes. Yes.
But not to cut you off, sorry, Tiff. I just saw that. I'm like, coquito. Like it's like our drink now.
It's the official drink of the Creep Squad.
Oh my God. That let's talk about that. That works as a character, I guess.
There you go.
The wrestling Twitter After Dark / Creep Squad /
God.
Just like Twitter's weird, man. Like yeah. Yeah. Some of you guys you guys are
creeps.
Having too much fun.
Don't slide in my DMs with that creepness. That's how you get blocked.
Don't slide into but Let's keep going though.
All right.
Let's talk about someone else because we can't talk about Danhausen
All
and
right.
not talk about this next guy. He chopped the shit out of me at Synergy. We gotta talk about Warhorse.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about Warhorse. This dude, I feel like in the past year reinvented himself, and again, like he's blown up. There's nowhere you can talk about like independent wrestling and not talk about Warhorse. The guy was the IWTV champion for so long. Like he made that belt just crazy again after the reigns like Orange Cassidy, and like it's insane to see how this dude has killed it. Like Warhorse, like you saw so many people during Halloween, they painted their face like
Yeah.
Warhorse.
Yeah.
Like the dude has made it like insane. And it's like it's crazy. The style promo he does very resembles of like that 80s style promo, but then he works in there so differently. He hits that elbow that actually is pretty sick looking elbow too. Like Warhorse is another one that character has been crazy.
Yeah.
That character has definitely been crazy in there.
Al-
But
Alley Cat too is another one that
Ali,
everybody's been all over. Like
oh
it's
my
just
God.
it's just great. Like I can't believe she was at the tournament of survival. Like I couldn't believe like here's this chick. And me, I'm very big into the intergender matches. And then on top of you doing intergender match, you're doing death match. Like, oh my God, all the light tubes. And I'm telling you, I was like a kid in a candy store with all the light tubes, right, Ray?
Oh my God, those light tubes. It's funny. Every time Tiff was her face was like this, it's like, "Ee." But then if it's like a crazy spot, oh. It's like it was the craziest experience. But it was great. I said it that day. I was like, I see why people love it.
Yeah.
For me, it's not my full cup of tea. Like I'll still watch it. I don't bash it because I feel like, and again, it's a part of indie wrestling. It's great. But that crowd there, I feel like I
Yeah.
get it now. Like Dane D'Amato said it when you had him on this year about that bloodlust.
Yeah.
Like people really fall for that,
It's
like that sound and just
it's
what it does to people.
it's a
Like
different
insane.
vibe. It's a different vibe. It's a different fan base. And the good thing about like me and Ray is we like a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything. So, there are like again, like ICW, right? Like is all like death matches now. And it's not everybody's cup of tea, and it is a very different fan base. I don't think I'm not going to say like a good chunk. I mean, because there are fans like me and Ray who like a little bit of everything. We can go and watch like an excellent show, which is kid friendly, and then go love a death match. And I don't think a lot of the people that are into like deathmatch wrestling would like something like excellence where it's kid friendly, and they have like characters, like Ray was talking about characters as well, like people as cats wrestling, like things like that. I don't think you're gonna see a lot of fan base switch over, I feel like, and I'm
And
not
that's
saying
fine
and
too,
that's fine.
though.
Yeah, it's absolutely
Like
fine.
it's like ice cream. Like I like to steal a line from our good pal Logan Black. Wrestling is like it's like ice cream. There's different flavors. Everyone has their favorite, and it's okay. Like you don't all have to like every single style of wrestling.
Right.
No one does. Like just allow everyone to enjoy what they like, though.
Right.
Like that's the biggest thing, and that's what I hope you guys can understand, especially going into this new year. Don't diss someone for liking something else. Like if they like a certain style of wrestling, that's their preference. You like your style, and if you don't think you have a style that you like, just keep watching, keep searching, because there's a style of wrestling out there for everyone. Especially if you like wrestling, you're gonna find something.
Like I was just talking when I was on Dennis's stream the other day, we were talking about Extreme Serious Wrestling, and there is another Tiffany out there that I love her to death as well, and she was there too. And like this is a girl that you see at a lot of shows on Fight TV and IWTV who's going and enjoying all different styles of wrestling. And it was so funny because Extreme Serious Wrestling is very different. It's like more more fun, more comedy wrestling. There are a couple of wrestlers in there that are actually like real wrestlers, and I feel like some of them are kind of like a character, right? I think that's like the best way to put it.
Yeah, they're definitely, again, like, best thing with extremely serious wrestling is that it's basically it's the opposite of the name. It's very comedy based. It's very
Right.
fun, and that's good as well.
Yeah.
Like, you don't just want wrestling can't just be one style.
Yeah.
Wrestling, I always say, it's the biggest style of media and art form that's out there. It's theater. You're not going to want to just see one style of a play, right?
Right.
You go out, you're going to want to see your Rents, you're going to want to see your Cats, you're going to want to see your Oz's, you're going to want to see your Red Boots. There's so many styles out there.
Right.
With wrestling, it's the same. You're going to get technical wrestling, character-based wrestling, lucha wrestling, high-flying wrestling. You're going to see so much stuff. You're seeing deathmatch. You're seeing guys that are legit trying to fight. Like, this is what it is. And again, find your niche there and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's the best thing you could do. That's the best thing. And I feel like the reason that's why we talk about everything here is because we try to watch a little bit of everything because it's still entertaining. Because at the root of it, it's still wrestling.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. That's the root of all this, is that it's still wrestling, and that gives you that satisfaction there.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep it going here. Let's talk, again, a guy that has so many options as well, because he just wants you to join his cult and just be one of his 11,000 lovers, I believe. I think the number's almost at 12 by the time of this podcast. But let's talk about MV Young.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how the polyam cult is just
booming,
taking over wrestling right now.
It's like, yeah,
man, like MV Young has been insane. He's
great promos.
Man, like, it's funny. I keep making fun of it because it's like I have a ring light in front of me right now, and I don't get how he can cut a promo in front of this the whole time, because again, my eyes are red as hell because just of how bright this is. But he's made it work.
It's been amazing.
And again, that to me is a character, because he has created something. He speaks in the third person.
Yes.
That's how great he's finessed this character now. And it's like, it's great to see. Yeah. It's great to see MV, again, the guy we've gotten to see a lot in Synergy, develop this storyline now with Anthony Gangone and the Polyam Pals. And we're still trying to wait to see how is that going to end. Or is it just the beginning? We don't know. And again, MV Young doing some insane things in wrestling. And also with that character, he's still insane in that ring. We saw him during the Collective this past summer, and the dude was a part of a 10-man tag, and that fight was just insane. Like, MV can do that, woo you, be like so provocative in his style, but then will kick the shit out of you. Like, I've seen MV's kicks and those chops, and I'm like, I'm glad he hasn't chopped me, because
not yet.
God,
not yet.
I don't want it at all. Like, I already joined the cult. He doesn't have to chop me.
He made Gangone bleed.
I don't want to bleed. Can I not get chopped? Like, no, we don't want to get chopped. I feel like most of the members of our chat are probably a part of this cult as well. Like,
probably.
Oh my God. Let's keep it going. We have
right.
more characters. I want to talk about one more that I feel like definitely like took over this last year as well. Is it Ethan Page? I don't know. So we're just going to say he's another person. The Karate Man.
Yes. I was just going to like bring that up.
Man.
Yes.
Like, the Karate Man has been killing it. Ethan Page is like, again, he tries to keep himself relevant. Ethan Page is definitely not stagnant with his character build. And the Karate Man has been doing insane. The promos that he's been doing as a Karate Man. They're about to put out tomorrow a match of Ethan Page versus the Karate Man. Like, think about that.
Damn.
Ethan Page versus the Karate Man. Like, that's about to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't think that Ethan Page is creating like these amazing character styles, and just it's crazy. I think this is the same guy who killed Impact Wrestling's tag team mission. Like, him and Josh Alexander have been dominating and killing it. And like now he's doing this insane stuff with the Karate Man. It's insane.
Yeah. I love
The
it.
Karate Man was on Impact last week. Like, it's insane. He got on Impact. Like,
Hey.
it's great. It's great. Character wrestling is alive, and I feel like that has been another style for this generation right now. Character
Really.
wrestling is crazy.
I wanted to talk a little bit about we've had some retirements this year.
Hmm.
So what sticks out to me are two. Matt Tremont and Homicide. And I actually seen Homicide retire at ICW live. So here's someone that I've seen so much at like ICW. So to see his final match over there, I feel like meant so much to me. So I was great. And then to watch, I think like everybody with Matt Tremont as well. And I see like his last match also at ICW as well. But his final match was H2O. But again, I feel like a lot of like wrestlers that I knew like started for ICW for me. Like where I've come when I came into independent wrestling. So it's kind of cool to see like the last place, like where I first saw a lot of these guys in ICW to like retire out. But even like Matt Tremont at H2O versus RSP with all those damn light tubes. Oh my God, what the hell? That match was insanity. Like, I don't know, Ray.
No, again, like I feel like that's definitely the bad side of this year. That I guess Father Time waits for no one.
Yeah.
And this is the sad part of wrestling. Like someday you're gonna have to decide. Like that's it. Like Matt Tremont, the dude has put his body through so much throughout the years. And again, I respect the hell out of Matt Tremont. I thank him for what he's done for professional wrestling and for deathmatch wrestling. And again, we got to see him do some amazing stuff. We got to speak to him this past year. And again, another one of those interviews that was just like sitting under the learning tree and just taking notes with it.
Oh my God, it was great.
Homicide, a dude that I still say is like the godfather in professional wrestling for a lot of us, especially us in the tri-state. Like Homicide to me is still like a deal. Like I said, like Homicide is, it's insane. And I feel like with Homicide though, I don't think it's the end. I still don't think it's the end. Like, I feel like
Brad wrote
he's
in the
still
chat. He goes, Ray texting Homicide to see if he's really retired.
Shh. I just wanted to make sure I can say that. No, but Homicide definitely, like, I don't see it's over. I don't think it's over yet. I don't think it's over yet, and I feel like for now, maybe taking that break, because again, this puts a lot on your body. This definitely puts a lot on your body, and he's done it for so many years constantly. A lot of guys, like Eddie Kingston, was almost on that verge of doing it as well, and now look at him.
Yeah.
He's on AEW television. He's about to be on our TV tomorrow. Like, you never know. You never know. Another one, like even it was mentioned in the chat, Eric Stevens retiring.
Yes.
Eric Stevens, I feel like it sucks that he retired this year because I feel like everyone like got to remember Eric Stevens. Everyone now is like, oh man, Eric Stevens is insane. He's about to have a killer run. Like this dude is insane. He's such a newcomer. Like why didn't he start wrestling years ago? And it's like, Eric Stevens has been around, guys. Eric Stevens is that guy that was wrestling with guys like Claudio Castagnoli, Chris Hero. Like Eric Stevens was in ROH. And people don't remember that because of that little bit of a minor break he took. And this year he came and dominated again. And it was like, wow, where was this guy at?
Right.
Like, I hate that he retired now, but hey, it happens. Like, again, we've seen so many retirements. And again, thank those guys for their service. Like, they've done amazing stuff and they continue to build what is independent wrestling. Like, I don't think he's retired, but there's one guy that I really hope does eventually decide to come back into wrestling itself, but he's been sharing like a lot of like notes and stuff. Jimmy Jacobs. Jimmy Jacobs is another guy that I feel like this year really stopped the in-ring stuff. And I feel like Jimmy's another guy that his mindset for wrestling is insane. Like, there's anyone else that I definitely think one day I would love for us to have on this podcast is Jimmy. Jimmy Jacobs is insane for that mentality that he has about wrestling and about life. Like, if you guys ever want to hear like an out there view, because it's really like an open minded view on life itself, Jimmy Jacobs is that guy. So
well, maybe in the future on the Under the Ropes episodes we'll make that happen for you guys. So
definitely. But let's keep it going as well. Let's keep it going here. We have so much to talk about, and I feel like we got to start talking about it now. Let's talk about matches of the year.
Oh my god!
Like, this is a hard one. This is a real hard one. We have to get into it though, because I feel like we're gonna have even harder topics in a second. So, matches of the year, Tiff, you can start up.
Why? it's just like
Ladies
one
first.
of those things that like there's so much, and like right now of course I'm like completely blank. No. You know what like also like stands out to me, because it's funny because a lot I've already talked about on this episode. Hi Luna. Hi cutie pie. I want to talk about Tony Deppen versus Jake Atlas at GCW earlier this year in February. This is an amazing match. Like,
oh yeah, that happened this year, right?
Yeah, in February.
Wow.
Yeah, I was at that show.
That's insane to me to think like the matches that have happened this year. You know,
Yeah.
like that's.
Yeah, that's all.
What match do you want to talk about, huh? What match is your favorite of the year?
Definitely one of my favorites. Of course, like I'm like blank because there were so many. I mean, obviously, like I talked about, McIntosh and Yuta was one of my favorites. Like you said, the second round, it was just good technical match. I feel there was a lot of scrambles that were great. Oh my God, Ray, why? Like there was so many
guys. Just for the dull moment that's gonna be right now, just look at the puppy. That's it.
No,
because
like,
we're gonna have like silent air for a second.
No, there's a lot.
There's so many. There's so many. Like
Deppen and Alex Zane closing out. Blake Christian and Leo Rush. Like it's my God.
There's so many. There's so many great ones. Like to name a few, Gacy Arcadia was insane. Yeah. Gacy Arcadia was insane. Brandon Kirk and Eric Corvus was insane. Another match that I feel like not many are talking about, and it really stole that weekend, was the match between, again, Alex Shelley and Deppen. Yeah. Alex Shelley and Deppen really stole that weekend, I feel like. Brad mentioned it in the chat as well. Lee versus Gresham. That was another match that I feel like stole the show and that weekend. There's been a lot of stuff. To me, I tweeted this out because our buddy Rob from Bob Culture Podcast talked about match of the year. And to me, this was still for like, even though it was early on, Anthony Gangone versus Big Game Leroy.
Yeah.
To me was a match of the year. And I'm definitely going to clip this one part because I'll explain now, because I didn't explain on a tweet because unfortunately there's only a certain amount of characters. You can't really say why. And I feel like for someone that got to see those guys like develop and create these insane styles and characters, to see them finally wrestle without like, there was no change to it. This was a match thrown on this show that was finally like something to stop like the blues of the pandemic. Like it was early on in the pandemic. We don't know what's going on really. We don't know when we're going to be able to see wrestling, and to see this show come together and see them wrestle, it meant so much.
Yeah. And
it meant so much. As me being a friend of both of them, that match to me was insane because it had, if you don't know Anthony Gangone and Leroy Green, you don't know the story that it had, because it developed for a year. It was almost a year worth of development that we never got to see them finally wrestle. Leroy Green was trying to stop Anthony Gangone from almost creating a tyrant of this House of Gangone, or just his mentality. And Anthony Gangone finally was able to stop just Big Game Leroy from chunking at it. And finally they wrestle at CZW. And the match is still one of my favorites. That's why I say it, to me, it's match of the year.
Right.
It's one of my best matches of the year because even though it was so early on, it just had so many elements that it was great. And it's funny, like you see so many spots in there, like both Anthony Gangone and Leroy with switches, and it's like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Like the character got so crazy to see that, and it's like still
And
amazing match.
I love like
And
Valentina with the switch with
yeah,
Leroy. Like it was just like little things that played such a major part, and it really was a great match. And now, like I just thought of another one: the Rascals versus Alex Zane, Blake Christian, and Ben Carter at Warrior Wrestling. Oh
yes.
my god!
We just spoke about that too the other
Mhm.
day with Martin of Wrestling Unicorns. That match, I feel like you have to lower the speed on. Like if
All
you
that.
watch that match, try to lower the speed like by 0.5, because if not, you're gonna miss something. Like
Well,
those guys, like shit. If we're gonna talk about that, we gotta talk about the
Ben Carter
Rascals
and Ben
versus
Carter.
Chaos
Oh my god!
versus Rocky, Red, and Osprey.
Yeah.
Like Warrior Wrestling, I feel like is definitely created. Warrior Wrestling became the new PWG, I think.
Yeah.
Warrior Wrestling definitely became the new PWG, and I understand why. Like PWG, unfortunately, with the pandemic, it can't really run because California is truly shut down.
Yeah.
Like it sucks. And Warrior Wrestling, I feel like really fell that void of just like dream match after dream match after
Yeah.
dream match after dream match, and it worked. Like none of the matches, like I feel like usually when we ask for dream matches, we're like, oh man, this is gonna be awesome. Sadly, sometimes it doesn't fulfill, you know.
Right.
And I feel like Warrior Wrestling has definitely created some matches that's like it fulfilled, and it's like I'm glad it finally happened.
Yeah.
Like it felt great. And those 6-man tags that they've done, like the Rascals built, I feel like Warrior Wrestling.
Yeah.
And again, they did something so great that again now I say, look what it occurred. Look what occurred. The Rascals are signed. Dez and Zachary Wentz about to go kill it in the WWE. Trey Miguel still on the independent circuit. We know he's gonna kill it. The Fresh Prince of Midair is back on the Indies. I can only imagine the matches we're about to see. We're about to get to see him probably versus Leo Rush, him versus Blake Christian, him versus like
God.
it's insane.
I'm sad like we lost like Ben Carter because he was another one, but there was a whole bunch of dream matches that I was looking forward to. Like I was waiting for Ben Carter and Alex Zane to happen, and it was supposed to happen, and then like COVID happened, and then so I'm kind of like sad because that match was announced, and then I think Zane hurt himself, and then he got pulled off, and but hey, you never know. One day.
Yeah, you never really know. You never know. Never say never in wrestling. Never say never and expect the unexpected. And let me start reading some of the chat because I feel like I've missed some of the chat. I feel bad. So let's see. We got matches like Priscilla Kelly versus Thunder Rosa. Yeah. That's again, it speaks for itself. Both great athletes. Thunder Rosa has been killing it now. Priscilla Kelly, I feel like we definitely need to see her get back in there, and it's gonna be insane. RSP versus Tremont. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked a little bit
That
about
final
that.
showdown, that was just wow.
AJ Gray and Alex Colon was really good, and I like that it was a technical match. That it wasn't a death match. And I remember we were talking about it with Alex Colon on the podcast, and he said it that people forget like that a lot of death match wrestlers just get associated death match, but Alex Colon says that we all had to learn basics from the beginning. Like we all learned how to wrestle. So I appreciate seeing a deathmatch wrestler wrestle something technical because a lot do, especially like a lot of new people come into like even like me, like there's a lot of names I was not familiar with. So a lot of them like, okay, you just see him deathmatch like Alex Colon. Here is somebody who's been around a very long time, but he was like a newcomer to me like last year, and like I got to learn so much about him, and I was associating him as deathmatch, and I was like, oh shit, like he could really go as a technical match, and I was like,
No,
I
definitely.
really appreciated it. So
No, yeah, Cologne again. Like we spoke about on the podcast. I told Cologne I knew he could go in there because I saw earlier stuff. Like it's funny. The other day I was watching a documentary series. And they were talking about Adam Cole's run in CZW, and I forgot Adam Cole wrestled Alex Colon years ago. Cologne and Gacy teaming up. And again, that wasn't a death match. That's just pure wrestling. And Cologne, again, still does it. You see Cologne do some insane, like, styles clashes and code reds. And it's like, he could work in there, man. Like, Cologne and AJ was insane. Like, a lot of these guys put on their style, but it doesn't mean they can't work a normal, like, collar and elbow tie up
Yeah.
and just do something like that. Like, these guys still have to train in there. That's something else. I feel like the mistake when you think about deathmatch wrestling, just because they do the other stuff that's the thumbtacks and the glass and all that, it doesn't mean they don't have to learn the basics, guys. You still have to do that because as much as you're trying to create that atmosphere of the deathmatch, you're still trying to protect your opponent.
Right.
You're not really, yes, guys, I'm going to break the fourth wall there. You're not really trying to hurt your opponent.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what this is about. That's not what wrestling is about, no matter what form, no matter what style. You're trying to make sure that other person is okay because you're entrusting that person with your body.
Right.
That's how this works. But also in there, we got like Trey Miguel versus Desmond Xavier versus Zachary Wentz. Yes, that three-way from Warrior, that again, it showcased again that Trey Miguel would be that single star out of it. And I feel like, again, like that whole Rascals group grew up so much. Like, for people that remember, they were that like descendants of Sammy Callahan and OI4K. Like guys like Myron Reed, guys like Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, Desmond Xavier. These guys had like, and like they were descendants of this great style of indie wrestling, and they came in and stole the show. And to see what they're doing now, each guy on their own now, it's like they're killing it.
I'm laughing because Rob's in the chat and he said, wait, what? He goes, hashtag still real to me. Ray, do not spoil it, okay? He's just a child.
Sorry, guys. Yes, everyone's trying to kill each other. Yeah. People are really trying to kill me when they chop me on Saturday.
Yes.
They might actually be because people have been chopping the shit on me. Motherfuckers. But yeah, this is just insane. The matches we've gotten this year, it's been crazy. And again, that's what I love about indie wrestling. It's been crazy to see these pairings and see all this. And yeah. It's been crazy.
Warrior Wrestling is another promotion that is a must for me to go to, is another bucket
Same.
list. Like I have to again get my booty over there. It's like a must. Like now, you know what? I made fun of people back then that used to like travel for wrestling. Now I'm being one of those people that it's like I need to travel. There is so many amazing promotions all over the place, and I need to experience it. And I just, again, like I've fallen in love with so many promotions, and we support a lot of promotions, me and Ray, but I'm always looking for new promotions to support as well because there is so much talent out there and there's so many amazing promotions. And like I said, BLP and Warrior Wrestlings are two that are freaking killing it. That is a must that me and Ray need to go to.
Definitely.
So
speaking about promotions, I think perfect segue here.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about some of our favorite promotions. Again, guys, leave them in the comments below. We're not going to say which is our favorite because I don't think you can't pick just one. Independent wrestling has so many promotions out there. Like we love Synergy Wrestling. We love IWA. We love promotions like House of Glory, like ICW,
GCW.
like GCW. Like there's so many just in the tri-state, but then there's promotions like WSU out in Jersey, like CZW in Jersey, like promotions like over in FS.
Yeah.
There's so much
Pizza
stuff.
Party
FSW.
Wrestling, yeah.
There's so much out there. Like again, like we just mentioned, Warrior Wrestling,
Yeah.
PWG.
No peace. Like
No,
my goodness.
there's so much.
You can't
There's
keep
so
up.
much.
But it's great, and it's like we got to go to Titan this year. We got to go to IWW this year. We got to go to Standalone this year. These were definitely promotions that I hadn't gone to, and this was the first year that I was able to go to some. And again, like even our friend, shout out again to JPQ, we were talking about one day we just wanted to drive to Delaware. We're like, fuck it, we'll just drive, before the pandemic. We're like, fuck it, we're going to drive to Delaware. Whatever's there, we're going to go find a promotion, we're going to go support it. Like, what's in Delaware? Well, we're going to go find out. That's what me and JPQ wanted to do together this year, and that stopped us. But it's cool because, again, like Rob's in the chat and stuff like that, and I've never been to a Titan show, so it was kind of cool to go with him to one of the Titan shows, and he was laughing because we were walking around and he just watched everybody, like a whole bunch of wrestlers just walk up to me. It wasn't even me going up to wrestlers, it was wrestlers walking up to me. And he was just like in shock, and I'm like, I know a lot of people because my booty is all over the place supporting a lot of different wrestlers. A lot of these wrestlers wrestle all over the place, and that's why, like, I know them. We've seen them at IWA, we've seen them at IWW, we've seen them at Synergy, we've seen them at House of Glory, we've seen them at Violence and Suffering. Like, we've gone a whole bunch of promotions, and it's like they go all over the place, and that's why, like, a lot of wrestlers know me, and never mind the fact that we've had him on the podcast as well, So, yes, I had to shout them out. Yes, and shout out to Chad. Chad's been another one who's been absolutely amazing as well. And Billy, like, I can't, like, we could just sit here. I'm telling you, this can turn into, like, probably a 10-hour podcast because it's just really, again, the world of independent wrestling just gets me and Ray so excited, and this is why we knew this was going to be a long episode, because this is the best way to end, like, the No Holds Barred Network with, something like this, because
this is a way to end it with a bang because there's so much to talk about. Again, even like Melissa said in the chat, UWA Elite, another great promotion. There's so much, guys. There's so much that I feel like we wouldn't even be able to scratch the surface with, guys.
Yeah,
like, there's so much out there. And again, if you guys have the chance to attend your local indie, definitely do. Definitely go check it out. Check out wherever you're at. There's promotions. If you live anywhere in the U.S., there's probably going to be a promotion out there.
Yeah.
No matter where you're at. Like, there's promotions, like, even there wasn't promotions some places, like, and now people are creating them. Yeah. Like, that's what for Providence, Rhode Island, JG Dunn was talking about when we talked to us. There wasn't that one promotion for there. That's why he was like, he had to create what? Again, promotions like what? Promotions like Limitless. Promotions like Beyond.
Oh my God. That was another bucket list for me and Ray. I'm so upset about, because Beyond Wrestling was like high up on my PPW. We're high up my bucket list this year.
Yeah, PPW is another one. Another one that I need to get Tiff to go to, that I've been so much and I love them over there. Pro Wrestling Magic. Another great promotion here in the Tri-State. And again, guys, there's so many others. Like, for those in the UK, I know we have UK fans. Check out promotions like ICW over there. Check out Progress. Check out No, there was one that I just worked with last year. Why am I forgetting their name?
There's so many,
my God,
guys.
There's so many promotions. UPW. That was one.
What's kind of cool?
There's so many.
So now that you mentioned that, our girl Maria, who does all the fan art for like AEW, like, I was so excited because she lives in Denmark. And because, like, she knows, like, I'm always preaching about independent wrestling, and she's been a big staple here in New York because I'm such a huge fan of her, and, like, she doesn't get enough, like, credit out there, and she's been doing a lot of fan art for a lot of independent wrestlers here in New York, which has been absolutely amazing, because she goes, I go a lot by you too. She's like, because you just love the indies and stuff like that. But she finally went to one of her local indies, and I was so excited, and she was sending me pictures, and she goes,
That's
here,
awesome.
He could be a husband, right? Because he's a skinny white guy, right? I was like,
that's awesome. Even Margaret mentioned Rev Pro in the UK. Again, guys, check out your local indies. Check out your local indies. Try to, like, there's even a promotion now because of WrestlePro. There's WrestlePro Alaska. Yeah. There's WrestlePro Alaska. Guys. Like, again, independent wrestling is all around. And again, if you really can't find, just watch some wrestling, guys. Go to YouTube, search up some stuff, support. Like, there's some great stuff. And if, again, maybe that's not your cup of tea, then watch some wrestling on the main stage. Watch WWE, watch AEW, watch Impact, watch MLW, watch New Japan, watch ROH, watch, oh God, I'm trying to remember everything before I get in trouble with somebody. Watch everything that you can, because again, end of the day, these guys are creating that lifestyle for themselves. This is
And
how they support their family, be it
yeah.
for that local company in one place of the states
Or
or be it on that main stage.
Or you could do something how like I kind of did, and that's why like, I kind of blew up as this queen of the indies, as I call it. Is here was Anthony Gangone, right? And you guys all know my absolute favorite, and I wanted to support him. And after I did the first interview on Under the Ropes, like I talked to him and I was like, I want to support you even more, and I'm going to start following you to shows. And that's what I did. And I started going to companies that I didn't even know existed. Like, I really did not know how big the independent scene was until I started following him. I lined up in Pennsylvania, Jersey. He was joking around one day. He was like, "Are you going to follow me to California? Because I'm going to California." Remember, Ray? I was like, "No, I'm not going to be in California." But I did watch the match in California. Like, that's being a supportive fan. But again, like I said, just because here's this wrestler that I just love and adore and think he's amazing in the ring. Never mind the fact of a good human being, but I was able to find new promotions that I truly fell in love with. And then I've had amazing wrestlers as well that I started seeing. Joey Silver, Charles Mason, Too Good, Matt Awesome. Like these were names that I started to see like at other promotions that I didn't even know existed. And this is how it goes. And then I started, again, this is how I found Synergy. And we went to a Synergy show. And even like IWA in Jersey, we went to Intense Wrestling Alliance. I followed to go watch Gangone. And like, we fell up like with our boy Frank. Anthony St. James has been on the podcast. TJ Marconi. Like, why have we not brought up TJ Marconi yet, right? Like
well, because TJ's another one that semi-retired this year. Like, I feel like this year, no offense to TJ, but he didn't make that wave like he used to. Maybe 2021. Like, I love TJ. He's another one of my boys, but again, that brings up another thing. BWF, another promotion here in New York. Like, there's so much, guys. We're gonna forget about something like, I thought about Kyle for a sec. They're in Canada. You guys have Destiny. You guys have C4. Like, again, there's nowhere in the world you're not gonna find indie wrestling. There's not.
And the good thing is too is like that we're bringing you also like whether it's Indy Talks and like again sometimes we'll do the Synergy panels and then we'll bring on the wrestlers to join us with Colin. We'll chat with them so you get to see how they are. We'll bring on the wrestlers to do these interviews and we try to get a little deep into because again we know that we have a fan base all over the place. It's not just New York based. So there are people that are watching these episodes that you might actually find a wrestler, or you might find a promotion that me and Ray are very big raving on that you might actually enjoy that you can watch on apps, Fight TV.
Yeah, definitely,
IWTV.
guys. And that's the thing too. There's so many ways to watch it now. Like, I feel like we're in that generation that we're so lucky that there is YouTube, there's IWTV, there's so much out there. There's Fight TV. There's so much indie wrestling out there. There is no excuse not to watch wrestling. Yeah. If you really want to, like, I remember back in the day having to go to LimeWire and mess up my damn computer trying to download an Amazing Red match. Like, now it's like, it's at our fingertips. Like, come on, guys. If you really want to watch wrestling, it's not that hard. It really isn't that hard to find. But also, like, even Brad mentioned in the comments, A1, another company in Canada. That's Ethan Page's actual promotion. Like, there's so much out there, guys. There's so much to watch.
So I'm gonna ask you, okay? Because I feel like this is a good topic. We've been fortunate enough that we've gone to a lot of shows this year, even before the pandemic happened. Is there any special breakout moment for you? Like that we've gone to like a show that like you're like wow.
Wow.
We've done a lot.
Like
anything that sticks out to you. Like, I mean, I could definitely say like one of the IWA shows like after we went It was just nice to go to the diner after, and then we saw a bunch of
Oh, so just like a moment,
maybe
like
any
there.
moment for
Okay.
you, like
Um,
like I always go back to that. Like it was just so cool, like hanging out, chatting with for me, because again, like I say, like I consider you into the business, and I'm not really. I'm still fan base, and a lot of people like will say, Tiff, well, you're kind of in the no, I don't feel that way. So me, like as a fan, I feel like, moments like that, or even moments like being allowed to be at IWA and Synergy and do interviews before shows and after shows and interacting with wrestlers and having those moments of getting to know wrestlers that made me more comfortable interviewing going forward, even for the podcast. Like we interviewed people at IWA doing fun skits on Indy Talks.
yeah.
Like, these were little special moments to me that kind of stick out. I mean, and this is why, we put this out here, like interviews or, silly things like Ray getting chopped and stuff like that, or, wearing two good, wife beater tank tops and stuff like that, or me and April getting signs ripped, like these are like little special moments to me that stand out for 2020 for me. So I
Yeah.
don't know if there's like
For
something.
me, I feel like as a whole, it's just been able to enjoy it all. Like it's not any singular moment to be able to enjoy it with you guys and really be able to have those moments, like we say, like making moments and having that fun. Like it really has made this year go by so quick.
Yeah.
Like it's like like the cliche saying, like it's time flies having fun, and it really does. Like when we're having those laughs and enjoying the shows, it's been great. Like again, like even outside of the shows, like I've gotten some great moments with friends of mine that are part of the business as well, and just getting to hang out with them for a bit and not be stressed over what's happening here at the show or that happening at the show.
Yeah.
It's been great as well, and I really love what wrestling has done in that sense. Because again, like we said, there's a lot of negative that happened this year. Be it the pandemic, be it with the speaking out movement. A lot of stuff happened this year, guys. And with all that, I look at the good that came out of it, and I say that we have to value that a lot more.
Yeah.
Appreciate those good moments, because yes, there's not many, but the ones that have happened are the most important, and that's how we have to look at all this. Like again, those chops, hey, I complain on video, but to me, it's the funniest thing to just be like, hey, asking the wrestlers and then being like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm trained. I can take it. It's okay. And it's the funniest thing because it's like, again, I've gotten the training. I still am training, and it's great just to be able to do that and see the reaction of people and seeing like guys like Go Pro Wrestling being like, that must have fucking hurt. And I'm sometimes no selling it because it's like sometimes it's like I've taken worse. And it's just funny. And it's like that to me is the best, because being someone that again wants to get into wrestling, still wants to be a wrestler, I still love to entertain. And if it means feeling some pain, getting some cuts, hey, it's worth it. It's entertaining you guys, and as long as again no one's really getting hurt, it's all good.
I want to make a suggestion too to people out there, because I know, like, we're in scary times and it's hard, and a lot of us are staying home and not going anywhere, and you're not going to shows, but it's nice if, like, a couple weeks ago, I had asked Queen of Any to do one of her Google Hangouts, and we all went into her little Google Hangout. We were watching Impact together, and it was so nice. I think it was like about 14 of us that we were just chatting. The tweet goes out there, anybody can join, and it was just nice because we were all in there. We were talking about Impact. Maybe some people aren't familiar with all the wrestlers there, or maybe they don't understand the storylines. We're having conversations. It's a good way to learn and chat positive wrestling. Another suggestion that I can make that I know me, Ray, April, even Brad and Margaret, we've done as well, is we've gone into like Skype parties, and there's like a bunch of us, and we sat in Skype watching a pay-per-view together, even though like we're not physically in the same room, you know, and that's how we were trying to get by those months that we weren't seeing each other and going anywhere, that we were stuck at home. If you feel like that uncomfortable, like maybe try something like that, because it's always fun, and it's like you can sit there. I mean, we've done it even just to watch movies together. It doesn't
Yeah, I
even
was
have to
gonna
be
say like
wrestling.
this doesn't also just have to be wrestling, guys. Just do that with anything. We've watched some shitty movies, and again, if it means keeping your sanity during all this, especially now that everything is up in the air again, we don't know what's happening with numbers. One day it's good, one day it's bad. Try to still have some fun. Have some fun. Like look at me and Tiff right now. We're recording a podcast with me being where I'm at in New York. She's all the way on the other side of New York right now, and we're still doing this together. Like there's so many ways to still stay connected and have that fun so that your sanity can be gained for at least another day.
Yeah.
Like this is the best thing about it, and I feel like that's a great thing with technology right now.
I'm
And
sorry.
why are you
No, I'm
laughing?
laughing because I see on like Twitter, Faith put this out because when we went to Synergy for the Black Friday, I told everybody, I was like, look, let's wear all Christmas stuff, right?
Yes.
And we did. There was a whole section. If you guys watch that episode of Indie Talks on the network, you see us wearing a bunch of headbands, light up necklaces. You know, it was very Christmassy, and I loved it. So now our girl Faith, she wrote, "Are we wearing New Year's headbands and using noisemakers too?" And Colin just responded, "Do your worst."
Oh
So
geez,
it's
Colin,
on.
why?
So hang on. Don't worry.
Oh jeez.
I'm good to go. So, if you guys, Ray, if you don't have, I have plenty of stuff here because I am the queen of parties and all that shit like that. So, here, I have hats. Okay? I got 2021. I got the freaking, yes! And I'm dropping shit. So, but anyway, this is what we're going to be doing. I'm sorry.
See, but again, guys, that's the fun thing about this all. We get to have that fun, be safe, enjoy everything, and again, just try to share that love for wrestling.
Do you
That's
think
the biggest
if I
thing.
blow up this ball, Ray, do you remember this ball from last year? It's a big New Year's ball. It's supposed to be
Oh
the
my
ball
God.
drop. It was like a prop, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh
like it's supposed
jeez.
to be like the Times Square ball. Like it's deflated, guys. But do you think if I blow this up, bring this to Synergy, that Colin will approve? Well, it doesn't matter. Colin let me do it. Colin has no say of what I do anymore.
Colin
We've
has
learned that.
allowed me to get chopped without knowing, but then hasn't said anything, so he continues to allow it to happen.
Yeah, you know, at
Like,
this point, like I always say, like it doesn't really matter because I'm gonna do it anyway. So, like at that point, like Colin just expects me just to do my worst, and like
Oh my
he
God.
had fun too. Like that we were walking around like wearing all this Christmas stuff, and then it's like you guys see like my cover photo on Twitter and Facebook is this group photo. Like I want more pictures like that. My
yeah, we got to take
background,
one.
like,
We got to take one on Saturday.
Yes.
Now that I'm going on Saturday, so we definitely got to take an updated one and all like have fun again. And yeah, well, let's start narrowing this down. We got to
Okay.
start breaking it down a little more. I feel like we have to talk about. We talked about breakout. We talked about up and coming, but let's get to this is the main event topic here.
Okay.
This I feel like is going to be the hardest one.
Oh,
And Tiff, you're going to
God.
start it off because
No.
ladies first. Let's talk about Wrestler of the Year. Ladies first.
Oh my God.
Have fun with that one.
I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not, you're laughing. I know everybody's expecting me to say Anthony Gangone, but I'm not going to do that because everybody's expecting me to say Anthony Gangone, and I'll always be biased as he will always be my favorite wrestler. It doesn't matter. He will forever be one of my favorite wrestlers because I just love the mindset of Anthony Gangone. This is hard. I hate you right now. Yeah, I hate you so much right now. There's a
See, this is why I'm getting chopped on Saturday. You could just blame me for this, and
you can't.
I'll get
just,
chopped
like,
on Saturday.
you just can't pick one. Like,
Do
know
it.
what?
This is the only one we have to pick one.
okay,
This is our only one that we have
all
to pick.
right. I'm gonna go Brandon Kirk. Because
Ooh.
he's had such a year
Okay.
in wrestling. And I feel like the more and more that I see him in person, right? Like physically see in person, like wrestle, right? Because like, yes, you can watch him on TV. And I think I'm kind of basing it on that. The more and more I see him, the more and more good. Like I see, he's so good. And it has nothing to do with me being biased because he's married to Casey, right? I love that we've had Casey sit with us at shows, right? We've watched Casey come out from the back, sit and watch Brandon Kirk.
Yeah.
And her saying he's so good, right?
Yeah.
He really is that good. Really, really good. Like, he's been coming ICW, Synergy champion. Like, he's been making waves, right? I feel like more and more people are starting to talk about Brandon Kirk, right?
Yeah.
And whether he's, you know, a face or everybody hates him, like the heat that he gets.
No, he's definitely come into his own this year, and I feel like it's only the beginning.
Yeah.
And I feel like 2021, I said it yesterday, I feel like 2021 is definitely going to be a year of Brandon Kirk. And maybe you're right. Maybe I have to add him to that match that I need to happen. Because I feel like Kirk is going to be one of those guys that it's like, he's going to be finally in line to be a top indie guy. And I've said it. I've boosted him a lot that I said he's fighting from the bottom. And I feel like he's finally starting to reach that top.
Who is it that it was Takada, right? That he wrestled. Takada. Sorry. I say names wrong. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. I'm from New York. I was poorly schooled. Okay. So
blaming our education system.
I am going to blame our education system. But I think that was in January of this year. I think it was.
Yeah.
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 So that's what I'm saying. Like, he's had a year. He's had an amazing year.
Awesome.
So,
okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. I think okay, that's a good
Brandon
pick.
Kirk for your wrestler of the year.
Okay.
We're also gonna pick a female wrestler of the year. So who's that for you? You can't say Casey.
Why not?
Because that's gonna be biased. You're only pick if it's Casey, you have to explain fully why. Fully why it's Casey. No diss to Casey. I'm just saying you can't be biased.
All right. So wait, but let's. I'm trying to think because like we don't see a lot of women's wrestling, right? Like a lot of shows that we've gone to, right? We haven't seen a lot. And Casey's one that we've seen a lot because we've gone to a lot of shows. So it's like I want to say Casey, and I know it's like, oh well, she's married Brandon Kirk. And I'm trying to think of a lot of the women that I've seen, and obviously I can't pick anything AEW because this isn't an AEW podcast. So that makes it harder also. And there hasn't been a lot of women's wrestling that like I personally seen this year that kind of sticks out to me. Like Elena Black has been one upcoming that I've seen a lot of. Priscilla Kelly kind of had, you know, a bunch of great matches too this year. Her and even like Chris Dickinson was really, really good. I'm trying to think, Ray, who else has I seen this year?
There's so much talent out there. There's so much. Again, this is the good thing because it's so hard, and that means that it's so hard because there's so much.
Yeah.
The abundance means it's working. It's really that hard to pick. Like, I love it. I love it.
Brad brought up Thunder Rosa. But see, like, now I'm associating Thunder Rosa with AEW, so I can't pick her. I'm sorry. I can't pick her because we're trying to stick in the indie realm. And there has been a couple of chicks that, like, you know, I've seen, but it's just like I love, like, no, I have to go with Casey because like she had an amazing match with TJ. She had an amazing match with LSG. Here's just a badass chick, you know.
Okay.
To me,
so
like,
again, that's why I said explain it though. You couldn't just pick her because I feel like it would be too easy to be like that.
No, but which again, like here, she probably one of her best matches of her career was those 2 matches, and like her match with LSG was so good this year.
Okay, so I guess it has come from my
decision. It's a Kirk destiny, right? The dynasty.
So dynasty.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's your friend, and you don't even know her gimmick. Sorry. How dare you? How dare you? We need the shame bell. We need the shame bell for this podcast.
Listen, I talk very fucked up. I talk very New York, so I screw everything up. Okay.
You talk.
Shut up. Anyway, go on.
I was gonna be Kyle and start correcting you. It's speak.
Goodbye, Edward. Twilight.
Wow.
Go sparkle elsewhere.
Okay, so my wrestler of the year, and I'm gonna explain why, because someone's gonna say I'm biased, but I have to say it's Big Game Leroy. Okay. Reason being, and again, yes, he's a friend of mine, but throughout this year alone, he has grown so much and gotten a cult following that it's like the Switch is now associated with him. He has made it so much that it's like, again, you can't watch something and not see Big Game Leroy around. Yeah. IWTV has featured him so much this past year. Again, like he's making something from himself. And the dude really deserves this. He puts in that hard work. He really has had some amazing matches this year, and the sky's still the limit for him. And again, there's a lot of guys I could pick from that have done the same, but I feel like Big Game Leroy really just starting to get that shine, and it's been a bright shine already to start. Like, again, being featured on Evolve, being featured around on the network, like, and he's still independent. Like, I could see it next year, and it's going to be sad because he's a friend of mine. But I could see him getting signed next year. Just like two other of my best friends. And it's like, it's amazing to see, though, because it's like, it meant something. It worked. This is what they wanted to do, make it big. And I could see that happen. So Big Game Leroy, especially for at least the male wrestler of the year, I say him. Now, for female, again, this is hard because so many of the females have been picked up by major companies. Yeah. And again, that's an awesome thing. That's never a bad thing in my opinion, because I commend them for their talent being that great that boom, a big company has to pick them up. But from the remaining few that are still independent, I'm going to go with Solo Darling.
All right.
I'm going to go with Solo Darling. I feel like she technically is still one of the best out there. Like that technical game of hers, like we saw that at the women's GSI a few weeks ago. Like she killed it with Casey, and like Solo and Willow as Birds and the Bee, they've been a crazy women's tag team. Yeah, and they're still killing it in singles, in tag. Like Solo's definitely been doing amazing. Like the women's division in independent wrestling is thriving because there's so many coming for those spots, again, like I mentioned earlier, that it's in good hands. Yeah. It's definitely in good hands. So again, guys, don't get offended if we didn't mention one of the guys that you guys would have said for top male or top female. Because again, it's so hard to just narrow it down to one. But let us if we wanted to, we could have just kept going. Like, again, Ant is on there. Guys like Brandon Kurt, guys like Eric Corvus, guys like Smiley, guys like Casey Navarro. These guys have all been crazy wrestlers of the year. They've been doing their thing. But again, to narrow it down to one, it's so hard. Yeah. But again, even in the chat, we have Alley Cat being named for Woman of the Year. Yeah. Again, she's done crazy. She's done crazy stuff. She's gotten her character over, and she's still being talked about.
Holiday's another one that that I've been starting to like. That I seen a couple of times. And what's her name? Alice Snow? Is that her name?
Lindsay Snow.
Lindsay Snow. Sorry. That's like new to me that I just noticed recently. And I was like, damn, like she's starting to, show up places.
Yeah. So definitely, again, women's wrestling is thriving. And again, even like Brad's mentioning how Thunder Rose has been wrestling on primetime as well. Yeah, Thunder Rose is still, I would say, is indie. And again, she's killing it there as well. She's killing it. Thunder Rosa and Holly Dead, I could hope possibly even being the Twisted Sisters again and killing it on the indies. And again, wrestling is going to be great. In 2021, we're still going to see even more stuff. And the future's bright for independent wrestling, guys.
Yeah.
So definitely, again, support your local indie, support, and just keep watching, guys. Keep watching us, because again, we're gonna be talking about our indies, because we just love it. We love independent wrestling. We love wrestling as a whole, and this is what we like to do.
Yeah.
So
and we're gonna keep talking about it. We're gonna still provide you lots of content. 2021's coming around the corner. Again, we got lots of interviews that we're still planning to do. So we're always in the works. We're always looking for stuff to do.
Definitely.
More content. Hopefully we can go to more shows. There's some other things up in the air, and it's been a little harder to do because of COVID. We are actually going to go visit a school eventually. So we're going to provide you some content there so you can see the behind the stages of the schools. But like I said, it's been a little hard with the pandemic and the numbers spiking. So we've been a little careful. But again, if there's things that you would like to see, just let me, Ray, know. Leave comments, message us, put No Holds Barred Network as well. We always want to better the content. Join our Patreon. We got some great content up there as well. You can do it as low as $1 a month. And you get to see all our videos on there too. That's fun. What else, Ray? Anything else that I'm missing on that?
No, that's about it. Again, guys, support your local indies, support us, support the channel. And it's funny, again, you brought up the school. And I guess I did say I was going to make an announcement. So I guess it's better time than ever to make it. And again, guys, continue to support the channel and continue to support Tiff, support Kyle, support the brand. And I have to make a sad announcement. It's a little sad because, again, I've been loving doing this stuff, but unfortunately for now, I will be taking a little bit of a break from the network. So I will be leaving the network for a little while because there's some stuff that I need to handle and get some stuff done. And who knows, could that lead to possibly also the ring? Maybe. But for now, guys, again, support the channel. I definitely will still be supporting. This isn't there's some beef behind. No. I love Tiff, love Kyle, love the network, I love you guys, and this is just something I have to do. Again, guys, I'll still be doing also my own content as well, that I'm going to be focusing back on that as well, creating some crazy stuff. So if you want to check me out as well, Ray_Mundo, that's everything. So guys, again, that was my announcement. I'm going to be leaving just for a bit. When will I be back? I don't know, but I will be back. This isn't a goodbye. It's only a see you later.
He'll be back.
So I'll be back.
He'll be back. We got to get him chopped by all the other people at Synergy. He's not going anywhere. So we'll still be gaming and all that stuff together as well.
Definitely. So again, that's just the thing I wanted to make sure you guys know before a podcast happened and say, wait, where's Ray at? That's just it. For now, okay. I'll be taking this a little bit of a break. Yeah, but till the next one, guys, I'm always Ray Ramundo.
Hey, we always need a little bit of a mental break, right? Like it's just best. So and and Ray will come back refreshed, and we can see who else we can get on his list eventually too. So so he can wrestle. So guys, anyway, thanks for hanging out with us. Again, if you're leave us some comments. We really truly appreciate it. And so happy New Year. I think actually me and Kyle are not doing AEP tomorrow. So I just look out for the Twitter for it as well. I know like Kyle said something a little bit earlier to me, so I'm not sure if we're doing AEP, but if not anything, have a safe and happy New Year, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Yep. So I'll see you guys next year. And again, support us, support indie wrestling, support each other, be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people. Love you all. And as the AEW champ says, goodbye for now. Peace.